Good evening, Grizzly fans, and welcome to tonight's Play On Sports Network broadcast of Sac Joaquin Section Football. Alongside my partner,
Lucas Carlson.
I'm Neil Martin, here to bring you another premier section showdown. Tonight's game features your Granite Bay Grizzlies against the visiting Lincoln of Stockton Trojans. As things stand now, the Grizzlies have a record of 1-3 after losing a heartbreaker in overtime last week against an improved Pittsburgh Pirates defense by a score of 28-27. The Trojans come into this matchup with a record of 2-2, and last week got stomped by a very strong St. Mary's of Stockton team and one of their biggest rivals. And Lucas, we had a really tough loss last week to a really good Pirates team. We were really favored to win that game, and we've had a little bit of hardship this season, a losing record so far, but that was a little bit to be expected with the extremely tough out-of-league schedule we've played so far this year, one of the toughest in the sections. And here we go again tonight, Lincoln of Stockton. We played them in the semifinals of the section playoffs last year. What do you expect to see tonight in what should be another really great football game?
Well, like you said, it's going to be really great. It's going to be really close. Both teams look very good. Of course, Lincoln of Stockton has their starting quarterback, Zach Greenlee, who is actually on the ESPN Elite 11 competition. And that's, they pick the 11 best quarterbacks in the nation to compete for, just to get college looks and everything. And he did really well, and it's an honor to make that program even, and to perform in the spotlight is good enough. And of course they have, who could forget Justin Davis from last year in the section playoff game. I mean, he tore up our defense, and that was to be expected. Of course, he was only a junior last year, and he is committed to USC, so no big surprise there.
As you mentioned, Greenlee and Davis. Greenlee, so far this season, struggling a little bit. His completion percentage is only at 48% to this point in the season. They have played some very tough teams. He has 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions and a quarterback rating of only 85. So he's struggled a little bit. But the Grizzlies tonight, they had a big injury last week in one of their starting corners, Nick Grace. He will be out 4 to 6 weeks. Do you think Greenlee will have more success tonight?
Well, he could. You never know. This could be the turning point of the season. Like you said, he's played some good teams so far this year, but we'll see if this is where he can finally get on track. Of course, the Grizzlies secondary has always been pretty weak. And this year, of course, losing Nick Grace is not going to help. So we'll see how the team collectively responds to that. Some good news, though. We are getting J.R. Colton back. I mean, we saw him in limited action last week. He came back late in the fourth quarter, and he is returning from his injury this week. No news yet onto how much he will be playing, but he will be available for the team. And, of course, there's always that good linebacking core there that you have some more news about, Neil.
Yeah, as you mentioned, our linebacking core, Cameron Smith, the Studley sophomore, Mason Conan, and Bo Hirschberger together have 132 of our collective defense's 309 tackles. That is more than a third of our defense's tackles. Bo getting a lot of good college looks. Cameron, like we mentioned, only a sophomore, but by the time he's a senior, you got to assume that he is going to be getting a lot of good college looks. He has 62 tackles this season and leads the team, and that is 23 more than the second leading tackler on the team, which is Mason Conan, who we just mentioned. You also talked about Justin Davis briefly. He is one player on the Trojans offense who has not struggled at all this season. 50 carries, 293 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards a carry. And as you mentioned, committed to USC. He's small, he's quick, he's the definition of a speed back. But the thing that surprises most defenses about this guy is how many tackles he can actually break. He is not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, he's kind of that weird combination where you don't see it too often, where he can run the ball really fast as well as break tackles. So he's kind of that hybrid power back / speed back, and that does not bode well for any defense that's going up against him.
And several other playmakers on the Trojan offense. Their leading receiver so far this season is the senior Osha Washington. To this point in the season, he has 10 receptions for 127 yards and 4 of the team's 5 receiving touchdowns. So he is definitely Greenlee's go-to receiver, and he's sure to get a lot of looks tonight. Typically, Nick Grace would be covering him. One thing I'm sort of interested to see is if they take our best player in the secondary, Aaron Knapp, out of that safety position tonight and match him up on the outside with Osha Washington.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't think we'd do that. I think what we're going to do is pull our second best cornerback and put him on OSHA Washington, and then, have our replacement come in and cover whoever else. Because as you said, OSHA's the main receiver, so you only really need to cover him. And then, if their other receivers get looks, I'm sure that we can cover them. But I think you want to keep Aaron Knapp in his position because that's where he excels, and you want to keep him there.
As good as the Trojans' offense has been this season, Granite Bay's offense has struggled a bit. They struggled last week, and they struggled in their first 2 games of the season when we played 2 Southern California powers in Westlake Village and Oaks Christian. Their one great showing this season that we thought was going to be a symbol of things to come was when they beat the previously #1 ranked team in the section, Vacaville, by over 30 points. And they really have played excellently. Some players to watch on our offense include Grant Caraway and our 2 great runners, Johnny Cooley, the running back, and Taft Partridge, the fullback, coupled with Tony Ellison, who's our flyback. So a lot of big playmakers on this offense. And Lucas, who do you like to see tonight? Who do you think is going to have the most projected yards?
Well, you mentioned him there, and you were mentioning a lot of names, so you kind of glanced over him, but Tony Ellison, what a season he has had. He has really just burst onto the scene ever since last year. Late in the season, he came onto the scene, and he has not cooled down since. I like him to go off this game.
And as you mentioned, this team has 867 rushing yards this season. We are much more of a running team than a passing team, always have been. Traditionally, we are committed to running the football. So far this season, we have run 170 running plays to only 72 passing plays. So that's a pretty big difference, and our team does have over 850 yards rushing, 867. Johnny Cooley and Tony Ellison have run for really over 600 yards of that. So 3/4 of that, and they have scored 6 of this team's 8 rushing touchdowns. So really, really great players. And Johnny Cooley still aiming to break the school record set last year by running back Arik Bird at just over 1,600 rushing yards. Alrighty, that's going to do it for our pregame show, brought to you by Buca de Beppo. From the first game to the final test, there's always a good reason to Buca. Granite Bay High School students, groups of 15 or more, will receive a special youth menu rate if they go to Buca de Beppo in the upcoming weeks. Contact Kat at 916-771-9463 for more information. Again, that number is 916-771-9463. We will be back with you here after the national anthem to start this game off.
Fans VIP Pet Care Services provides mobile veterinary clinics every weekend right here in Granite Bay. You can find us down at Douglas Ranch Supply offering low-cost pet vaccinations, microchip pet IDs, flea and tick control, heartworm prevention, and much, much more. There is a veterinarian on site. Check us out at www.happypet.com. Russo Insurance is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week insurance agent. You can quickly submit your application for an automobile insurance quote utilizing our easy-to-use website. As a customer, you enjoy our suite of customer service forms, all from your local agent. We are an independent agency with the customer in mind. We represent Farmers Insurance Group of Companies, California's leading insurance company, allowing you to get the most complete insurance coverage, competitively priced, and most importantly, the best claim service in the business. Go Grizzlies! Fans, tonight's game is being broadcast live online at granitebaytoday.org. Watch highlights of tonight's game online and on your mobile device at granitebaytoday.org. Also a reminder that tonight's game will air tomorrow and Sunday at 7 p.m. on Comcast Hometown Network Channel 104. The game will also be available on demand starting on Sunday morning. Captains for tonight's ball game for the visiting Trojans, O'Shea Washington. Number 7, Zach Greenlee. Number 22, Justin Davis. And number 58, TJ Tiatia. For the Grizzlies, number 5, John Cooley. Number 40, Mason Conan. Number 52, Parker Doyle. And number 94, Tyler Arneson. The Trojans have won the toss. They elect to receive the opening kick. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Granite Bay High School, home of champions. Tonight's featured contest is a game that pits the Trojans from Lincoln High versus your Granite Bay Grizzlies. In a moment, the opening kick, but ladies and gentlemen, to honor our country, would you please rise, remove your hats, and enjoy this rendition of the national anthem, tonight performed by Derek Frank, Amy Hamilton, Nikki Kenning, and Johnson Core of the Granite Bay School Choir.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of the feasting air. They proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of love?
And we welcome you back here to Granite Bay High School for another night of Sac Joaquin section football coming up here between the Granite Bay Grizzlies and the Lincoln of Stockton Trojans. And this is a rematch of last year's Division I section playoffs semifinal game in which the Grizzlies triumphed over the Trojans 28-21 after they stopped the Trojans 4 times in a row from the 1-yard line to win the football game. A really great defensive stand by the Grizzlies in that game, and they're going to need their defense to step up here again tonight if they want to win this ball game.
I'm sorry, Neil. I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I believe you're skipping over the fact that I called the 4th down play over you.
You did. You did. You actually called the 4th down play last year, and you earned some prognosticator points for that one. All right. Grizzlies, Trojans on the field for this one. This is the Grizzlies' homecoming game, and you know the Trojans more than anything in the world would like to crash the party. Colin Brown on to kick it away to the Trojans. Osha Washington and Justin Davis back to return the kick. And here's the kick. It's a booming kick to the 10-yard line. It'll be fielded by Washington. And he's not going to get very far. The Grizzlies take him down just past the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 21. And the first offensive drive of this ball game coming up. Zach Greenlee and company on the field for the first time tonight. And Lucas, if you're the Trojans, do you come out throwing the ball and going for the weakened Grizzlies defense, or do you try and pound the football with your playmaker Davis to open up the passing game later?
Oh, you go with Justin Davis. Just you run it with him. He is too good to not run it with him on 1st down.
The Trojans run a pro-style offense, at least as close as you can get to it in terms of high school football. They come out here, 3 wide receivers, tight end lined up along the left side, Justin Davis in the backfield. They're going to pitch it out to the left side. Justin Davis cuts upfield, and he's going to get down to about the 25-yard line before being taken down by a host of Grizzlies. So a gain of 4 to start this ball game off.
Yeah, and that was a great job by the Grizzlies. Of course, we're not too worried about their front 7. The secondary is really the main point of question, but so far we haven't had to worry about that. But great job by the Grizzlies to swarm to the ball.
2nd and 6. 3 wide receiver set. Tight end to the right side. Davis in the backfield. Greenlee drops back to pass. He's going to sling it out to the right side and get enough for the 1st down all the way down to the 34-yard line. That pass to number 4, Ravon Alexander, the junior for the Trojans. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line, and the Trojans have another 1st and 10. Trojans come out, single back, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Greenlee under center. Here's the snap. They're going to pitch it out to Davis to the left side. He accelerates, and he is going to be stopped in the backfield. And there, you said it, Lucas. The front 7 isn't what's in question. They are great playmakers, excellent defensive linemen, especially with J.R. Colton coming back. And like you mentioned, 3 of the best linebackers in high school football in the state of California. And they get Davis, one of the best running backs in the state of California there for a loss of 2.
Yeah, and that's a kind of a questionable call there by the refs. I thought Justin Davis was going backwards on his own after he broke a tackle, but they give him the forward progress.
2nd and 12. Davis gets the handoff up the middle, and he again will not get very far, about 2 yards to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Trojans.
Stops made by Tyler Arneson.
It'll be 3rd and 9.
Along with Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith, the Grizzlies' leading tackler, stopping Davis on that play. And now the Trojans in a long 3rd down situation here to start this game off, and the Grizzly defense has them right where they want them. Trojans come out, tight end, and Washington to the left. Alexander to the right, Justin Davis in the backfield with Greenlee. And we have a stoppage in play. It'll be a timeout by the Trojans. Maybe to discuss the play a little more for what they want to do here on 3rd and long to try and beat this Grizzly defense. And as they take a timeout, we will take a short break here as well and be back to you here in just a few seconds from Granite Bay High School. Score as it stands now, Grizzlies 0, Trojans 0, 9:24 left play in the 1st. And we're back with you here at Granite Bay High School. Situation as it stands now, 3rd and long for the Trojans. Ball is at their own 35-yard line. The exact spot will put the distance at 3rd and 9. Trojans come out, tight end to the right. Washington and Alexander to the right as well. Davis in the backfield. Greenlee rolls out to the right. He's under pressure, and he is going to throw this one away.
And Steven Graber catches it on the sideline.
A nice catch by the Grizzly tight end. We'll hope he can continue that tonight when he's actually on offense. And the Grizzlies hold the Trojans to 1 first down on their first offensive drive. That's got to be at least a little bit of a moral victory for the Grizzlies.
Oh, that's a great job by the Grizzlies. They took Justin Davis out of the equation on that drive, and they got lucky with Zach Greenlee's errant pass there. But a note, Luke Bussey is the starter replacing Nick Grace, so we'll see how he does.
For the Grizzlies.
You know, he's never started a game at the varsity level, so we'll see what happens.
Punt almost blocked. Ellison back to receive for the Grizzlies. He's going to field this one at about the 33. Flag flies. Ellison's cutting up the left sideline. He has a blocker out in front of him, cuts back to the middle, and he's going to be taken down at about the 21, but this one's probably going to be coming back, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a real shame. That's the second time we've seen that happen this season. In the first game of the season against Westlake Village, the Grizzlies actually had a touchdown.
There is a flag on the play.
That was on a punt return called back because of an illegal block in the back. So we'll see what the call is here. Probably the same thing.
That was kind of iffy. I mean, it was kind of in the back, but it was like one of those where it could have gone either way because it was kind of to the side. I can see why the ref called it, though. That was a good call. It's just, you know, that's killer to Granite Bay. That's a big return that's going to go way back.
And it was an illegal block in the back call, which is what the ref is trying to announce now. A little blinding noise there. And it looks like the ball is going to be spotted at the 29-yard line of Granite Bay, which is where they will start with the ball 1st and 10 for their first offensive drive of this ball game.
And much to the dismay of the fans, that is the call.
You could tell that Cooper was just livid on the sideline. He has been really stressing that the Grizzlies need to limit their mistakes this season if they want to get back to their winning ways. That was not going to do it. They come out here, Cerner and Ellison to the left, Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. They hand it off to Cooley, and Cooley went right up the middle and then cut it right back outside to the left. He had to really backpedal and then cut out to the left to gain really a minimum amount of yardage. That'll be a gain of about 1. It'll be a 2nd and 9 for the Grizzlies from their own 30.
Yeah, and there's the infamous green sweep that the Grizzlies like to run, so not much yardage there, but we'll see if they can work that play a little bit better.
Grizzlies come out, 3 wide receivers, Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. Quick drop back for Caraway, and he slings one out to the right side to his wide receiver, Cerna. And a nice little pitch and catch there from Caraway to Cerna. They have a little rhythm going here early on.
Stops made by Theron Comer.
Yeah, and Cerna and Caraway have been together for a while on the same team, so they have that chemistry that you like to see. And great job by Caraway and Cerna to be on the same page there.
3rd and short here for the Grizzlies. Ball on their own 36. Grizzlies come out, 3 wide receivers, Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. Ellison in motion. Ellison's going to get the sweep around the left side. He has pursuers, but he's going to get enough for the first down. An excellent run there by Ellison, really showing his speed there to beat the defenders to the outside. He had 2 men pursuing him, but he does get enough for the first down all the way to the 43-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 and a 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
7 on the play and a 1st down, Grizzlies.
On 1st and 10, Grizzlies come out. Cerner to the right, Ellison to the left, Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Here's Cooley. He gets the handoff up the middle, breaks a tackle, still going, keeps his legs chugging. He is still going, and then taken down just short of midfield. A really powerful run there by the Grizzlies starting running back. He gained 6 before being taken down by the 2-way star, Osha Washington. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Grizzlies on their own 49.
Gain of 7 on the play, 3rd and long. Correction, 2nd and a long 3.
Grizz come out. Cerna and Ellison to the left. Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Ellison is going to get the handoff around
Tony
the right
Ellison, the ball
side.
carrier.
And he picks up enough for the first down, so it seems like the formula here so far has been Cooley, Ellison. And it's working so far.
Gain of 4 on the play and a first down, Grizzlies.
Gain of 4 by Ellison on that play. And that gets them into Trojan territory, 1st and 10 from the Trojan 46.
Yeah, and looking like a similar theme for the Grizzlies offense here as it was last week. Simple yet effective.
Grizzlies come out, trips to the left. Short drop back by Caraway. He slings a pass out to the left to Ellison. Makes a man miss at the 40. Still going down to the 35 and stopped just short of the 30. And Caraway is looking good here early on. Some good rhythm here early on in the passing game, which is something that was really lacking last week when Pittsburgh upset us here at home.
Grizzlies.
And that pass was good enough for a first down. They get to the Trojan 32. Grizz come out, 2 receivers to the right, man to the left, Partridge in the backfield. They're going to send a sweep around the right side, and making them miss all over the field was number 21, the backup flyback, Andrew Towery, around the right side. An excellent run by him, a gain of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Grizzlies.
And the Grizzlies just keep tacking away and picking up yards here and there, and look at, they're already almost in the red zone.
Mind you, they would have been the red zone at the start of the drive. The punt return by Ellison hadn't been called back. Handoff to the big 3-year starting senior fullback Taft Partridge on that play. And that will go for enough for a first down. That'll be a gain of about 4 and gets the Grizzlies to the 21. First down.
Well, as expected, the Tribe is very full tonight, and we have a fellow media member down there, Daniel Romero, getting a day in the life of a Tribe member. So that'll be out on the Granite Bay Today website soon, so be looking for that.
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Cooley in motion to make it a 4 wide receiver set. Quick little swing pass to Ty Cerna. And again, like you mentioned, Lucas, simple but effective. We've seen a lot of short passes here early on, nothing really longer than 5 yards, but it's getting Caraway in a good rhythm, and he's looking a lot better than he did last week so far. 2nd and 1 now for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 12-yard line. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Cooley around the left side. He's at the 10 and trying to make men miss around the 5-yard line before taking a big hit out of bounds. But he does get enough for the first down. Nice, solid, powerful run there by Cooley, and he gets enough yardage to make it 1st and goal here for the Grizzlies with just over 4.5 minutes here to play in the first.
Yeah, and the Grizzlies are now knocking on the Trojans' door. Can they put it in?
Ball on the 4-yard line. Ellison and Cerna. Ellison in motion. Handoff is to Cooley up the middle, and he does not get very much. Minimal gain by the starting running back. That'll be a gain of 1, if anything. They're going to give him about half a yard, so it'll be 2nd and goal for the Grizzlies at the Trojan 3-yard line.
Gain of about a half of a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Grizz come out. Partridge and Cooley in a strong set. Cerna to the right. Handoff is to Cooley, and he's going to get in! Making the dive around the left side is Johnny Cooley, who scores the first points of the ball game.
There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. Waiting a call here from the ref.
Well, barring the penalty, that was a great run by Johnny Cooley to just bust up the gut, and there was holding.
Holding the call against the Grizzlies.
The call is a hold against the Grizzlies by the ref, and that is a real killer. First you have the big punt return nullified by the block in the back, and then a holding call nullifying a touchdown. The Grizzlies, they're not making a lot of mistakes, but they sure are making key ones here early on.
Yeah, and that's just simple mistakes that you can't afford and shooting themselves in the foot.
So it'll be 2nd and goal for the Grizzlies now from the Trojan 14. 4 wide receiver set. Partridge in the backfield. Short drop back by Caraway. And a short little slant route to Ty Cerna, and again, not a long pass, but it works, and Cerna gets them all the way down to the 2-yard line.
And a great job by Cerna to get that ball, and Caraway, he's looking good tonight.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2.
Third and goal now for the Grizzlies. Ball on the 2. Cooley in the backfield. They hand it off to him around the left side, and he gets in again, untouched. And hey, first time luck, second time skill, as they say, and the Grizzlies proving they have some offensive skill here on the first drive of this ball game. Cooley adds 6 to the scoreboard once again for the Grizzlies, and a score now: Granite Bay 6, Lincoln 0, pending the extra point by senior Colin Brown. Here's a snap. Hold is good. Kick is good. And it all works perfectly. The Grizzlies tack on one more.
Great job by the Grizzlies to march down the field there. And even with the key penalties, they did not let it affect them. Kept their good mindset throughout the drive, and 7 points to show for it on the scoreboard.
Scoring play was a 2-yard run by Johnny Cooley after a really excellent 12-yard catch by Ty Cerna. We have 3:57 left to play in the first quarter. Grizzlies up by 7 on the Lincoln of Stockton Trojans. And Lucas, so far the defense holds the Trojans to 1 first down, and then the offense, despite a couple really big mistakes, marches methodically down the field and scores a touchdown.
Yeah, we're looking good. Let's hope we can keep this up. I mean, we did start out last week looking really good, and we saw what happened there.
They only played 3 quarters in that game. I think it's pretty safe to say that they were up by 14 going into the 4th quarter, and they just let their foot off the gas.
They did, and they can't do that if they want to have a chance to win this game. So let's hope the Grizzlies keep this mindset throughout the whole game.
Colin Brown set to kick.
O'Shea Washington
and Justin Davis back to receive for the Trojans. And here's the kick. It'll be fielded by Davis in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And Zach Greenlee and the Trojans will get another opportunity to try and get some points on the board, as they were unsuccessful on their first drive of the game. They will have to march 80 yards, though, to do it. Not an easy task against this Grizzly defense, which on the first drive of the night looks pretty solid.
Holden Sanchez, please report to the press box.
1st and 10 here for the Trojans. Ball on their own 20. They come out in a 4 wide receiver set. Davis lined up alongside Greenlee in the shotgun. Man in motion. Here's the snap. Short pass to Davis. And Davis gets just past. Oh, he breaks the tackle. Makes another man miss. He's to the 30. He's to the 40. Tries to make a man miss out of the 50 and gets knocked out of bounds there. And there you see it. The playmaking ability that the USC commit Justin Davis has. He looked like he was going to go down there and then cut it to the outside and gain 30 yards. We do have a penalty, though. And it's a block in the back on the Trojans. So this one will be coming back, and the Trojans make a big mistake there. It would have been a 30-yard gain by Justin Davis, but called back because of a block in the back.
Well, there you saw the skills that Justin Davis has, and wow, with that speed. I mean, he was on the 10-yard line at 1 second to the 20-yard line in another second. I mean, he was just gone, but horrible penalty. Can't afford that mistake.
Not sure how they spot this penalty, but as it is now, the Trojans have the ball 1st and 1 on their own 29, and they're in a 3 wide receiver set, tied into the right, Davis in the backfield. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Davis around the right side, and he does get enough for the first down.
Justin Davis, the ball carrier.
It was kind of a weird spot due to the penalty there. 1st and 1. That's kind of...
Well, it's 15 yards or 10 yards. 15 to 10 yards. I don't know the high school rule, but it's 10 yards from the original spot of the foul.
Gain of 4 on the play and a 1st down, Trojans.
You heard the man. And after the gain of 4 by Davis, the Trojans have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 33. Washington to the left, full house formation in the backfield. 2 fullbacks and 1 running back. Drops back, throws a quick pass
Greenlee's pass intended for
to O'Shea Washington.
Incomplete.
And it did not look like they had full communication on that play, as the Grizzlies sent an all-out blitz there, and they were not ready for that. So O'Shea Washington should have been looking back for the ball, recognizing the blitz.
Yeah, not at all. And it looked like O'Shea Washington was committed to the route he was running, really not aware of what was going on. He looked like he was running about a medium distance out route there. And Greenlee, under duress, short-armed it just a little bit, so it'll be incomplete for the Trojans. 2nd and 10. 3 wide receiver set, tied into the right side of the field, man in motion, Davis in the backfield. Here's the snap. Play action, Greenlee rolling left, throwing deep to Washington, and a really errant pass as Greenlee was under pressure again. Grizzly front 7 doing a really excellent job here early on, and he threw that one out of bounds. Not really sure if he was meaning to throw that one away or not, but either way, the Grizzly defense played well enough to force the bad throw by Greenlee.
Yeah, and that was a great job by the defensive pressure to get in the backfield and really force the quarterback to throw that before he wanted to.
3rd and long now for the Trojans. They come out, O'Shea Washington to the left, Rayvon Alexander to the right, Davis alongside Greenlee in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back, looking over the middle, tries to hit one of his tight ends, but was not able to do so. Nice coverage by the Grizzly linebackers, and it'll be, once again, 1 first down and out for the Trojans and the Grizzlies. Playing very well here on defense early on.
Yeah, and it just looks like Lincoln of Stockton's offense is out of sync right now. They need to really get in together on the sideline and talk it out, because they do not look like they know what's going on.
Punt formation here for the Trojans. Tony Ellison back deep to receive. This is a long one. Ellison will field it at the 35-yard line before taking a big hit. And he goes down at the 33. Return of 0 yards. The Grizzlies will have the ball 1st and 10 at that spot.
Well, how about Ellison holding on to the ball after that monster hit? I was expecting the ball to pop out after he hit the ground.
Well, yeah, and anytime you have that situation where a punt returner isn't aware that there's a man coming right at him and he takes a big hit, 80% of the time it's a fumble. So, I mean, got to give some credit to Ellison there. Grizzlies come out, 2 men to the right. Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. Caraway drops back, rolls to his right, slings it over the middle to his tight end, Stephen Graber, who hurdles a player along the right sideline and gets more than enough for a first down. Down at the 49-yard line, there is a flag along the right sideline, right where Graber hurdled the defender. An athletic play by the big tight end for the Grizzlies. See what the call is here.
Well, nonetheless, look at Stephen Graber's hurdle. Wow.
I mean, did you see his hurdle? That was awesome.
Looking like Roy Halou out there.
The call is personal foul, hurdle on the offense against Stephen Graber. So that'll be, I'm not even sure how that penalty is assessed, because I've never seen that call before. I didn't know that it was illegal to hurdle players in high school.
I had no idea either, and that is, wow, okay.
Quick pass to Ellison. Turns the Jets on. He's still going at the 45. And a designed flyback screen along the left side, really meant to only gain about 5-6 yards, is taken by Ellison. 21 yards for a first down Grizzlies. And they are now well into Trojan territory. 1st and 10 on the Trojan 45.
So what does Tony Ellison do after they get that penalty for the hurdle? He says, no matter. I'll catch this 5-yard pass and turn it into a 21-yard gain.
2 minutes left in the first. Ellison inserted to the right. Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Ellison in motion. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Cooley up the middle. He's got a little bit of room. And breaks a couple of tackles to get past the 40-yard line, taken down at the 39. Solid gain by the running back. And Cooley's that kind of player. He doesn't do a lot of things that are flashy, but he picks up the solid yards and turns it really something out of nothing a lot of the time and picks up 6, 7 yards out of plays that should have been 2 or 3. 2nd and 4 now here for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 39. A little pitch on that play, but the Grizzlies around the left side.
Partridge, the ball carrier.
And the fullback, Taft Partridge, does not give very much on that one. It will go for no gain. And a 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Grizzlies.
No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, not much Taft Partridge could do there, as he didn't have much blocking on that play, and that is not something you usually see with this Grizzlies offensive line. They have been pretty solid all season.
Grizzlies come out, strong set formation. Ellison to the left, Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Handoff is to Cooley on 3rd and 4. Here he gets around the left side, breaks a tackle, and fumbles the football. And the play is still going and now called dead. Fumble was recovered by Devon Ramos, the outside linebacker for the Trojans, and he started to run it back towards the end zone. But the refs are saying that Cooley was down by contact. We'll see what the call is right now, but where the ball is spotted, it would have been a gain of 2, setting up a 4th and 2 for the Grizzlies.
Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th and 2.
Still awaiting a call by the ref. Just over 30 seconds left play in the first quarter.
Johnny Cooley took a massive hit there. I'm surprised he's still able to get up, and you know, that we didn't have a very good angle because of all the tall football players on the sideline, but wow, that could have gone either way. We got very lucky. We dodged a bullet there.
Well, and the really interesting thing is that from my point of view, that looked like a fumble. But in a high school football, obviously no instant replay, no really any way to assess whether the call was correct or not. So unless you are completely sure as a referee, there really isn't any way to overturn a call of this sort of magnitude. So the call should stand. The Lincoln coach is still on the field arguing the call by the referees, arguing that Cooley was not down and that the Trojans should have gotten a touchdown out of that play.
Result of the play is 4th down.
Ruling on the play is that Cooley's knee touched the ground before the fumble. So it'll be 4th and 2 for the Grizzlies. Ball on the Trojan 37, and they're going to go for it. A big play here for the Grizzly offense here early on. Ellison to the right, Cerner to the left, Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. And Caraway, who is really a master of the hard count. We've seen him do this several times this season. Draws the Trojans offside. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 32 as a result.
Well, we've seen that time in and time out, and like we've said, he really is a master of the hard count. I mean, that you could tell that's what they were going to go in there and do, and if he did not get them to jump off sides, they would have probably called a timeout and just punted it. But great job by Caraway to get them to jump off sides. He is his cadence, and you can tell that he's got really good communication with his offensive line, because you got to have that in order to be able to work that play. Great job by Grant Caraway.
Well, that last penalty will take us to the end of the first quarter as the score stands now. Granite Bay Grizzlies 7, Lincoln and Stockton Trojans 0. We'll be back with you here in just a couple seconds for the start of the second frame. And we're back with you here at Granite Bay High School, where we have a great football game going on here. Grizzlies only up by a touchdown here as we enter the second quarter. A 2-yard run by Johnny Cooley, the only scoring play of this ball game so far. Grizzlies have the ball 1st and 10 right now on the Trojan 32. And they were going for a rollout pass there from Grant Caraway, and he was under a lot of duress, running backwards to try and get away from defenders, and slipped at the Trojan 48-yard line, and that is a huge loss for the Grizzlies. It'll count as a sack, and that'll be a loss of 16. So the Grizzlies have 2nd and a mile coming up here to open up this second quarter. Grizzlies come out, trips to the left, one man to the right. Quick little screen pass to Tony Ellison, has a couple blockers out in front of him, and he is still going. Past the 45, decided to cut that one back inside as it looked like the block by Taft Partridge was a little lacking, but Ellison still does pick up a nice chunk and gain 6 on that play. 3rd and 20 coming up here for the Grizzlies.
Well, I wish we had a time of possession stat somewhere counter, because, I mean, the Grizzlies have had the ball most of the game. They really are controlling the ball and doing a great job of just, keeping their offense on the field and getting their defense rested.
A lot of motion for the Grizzlies before the snap that play. And Caraway was looking for the running back Johnny Cooley along the right side, but was under enough pressure that he had to throw it away. And the big sack on that play by Trojans stymies the Granite Bay offense, and they will have to punt the ball away.
Well, one minor hiccup in the Grizzlies' stellar performance tonight. And let's see, Grant Caraway, the quarterback / punter. This is a tradition here at Granite Bay to have the quarterback be the punter in case we do need to fake it. So, but he does have a boot.
And there you see it. Ball's going to bounce at about the 10-yard line and roll into the end zone. An excellent punt there by Caraway, but not enough Grizzly players down there to pin the Trojans deep. So it'll be a touchback, and the Trojans will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. You got to be impressed by Caraway's punting ability as a quarterback, how good he is at punting the football. Had a real coffin corner punt last week against the Pittsburgh Pirates, was able to pin them inside their own 10-yard line once, and it's amazing how good he is at doing both. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. They come out in a spread formation. 4 wide receiver set. Davis in the backfield with Greenlee in shotgun. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back. 5-step drop. Looking for Alexander deep. And it is overthrown out of bounds, and not a real great throw by Greenlee. And as you mentioned, Greenlee not really looking like he's in sync at all here early on.
No, and great coverage by Luke Bussey to get in the defender's face and not let him catch that ball and really force him to have to try to make that outstretched catch. But, of course, that ball was out of his reach, so no luck for the Trojans offense here on that play.
As a result of the incompletion by Greenlee, it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Trojans on their own 20. 2 receivers to the left, 1 man to the right. Davis in the backfield. Greenlee under center. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Davis, and he has a man right in his face. And Davis dropped for a loss by number 45. The sophomore standout linebacker, Cameron Smith.
Well, like I mentioned last week, Cooper really has a game plan that is designed to get these linebackers a lot of tackles, and that really explains that why we have over 1/3 of our tackles from our linebackers. And there you see Cameron Smith, he has really excelled coming into this role. Of course, he was the starting quarterback for the freshman team last year, and now he's a linebacker for the varsity team starting.
And the leading tackler. 3rd and long for the Trojans, and Greenlee is slinging this one deep. Looking for Rayvon Alexander, the junior, once again. And once again, Greenlee overthrows him. Seems to be a common theme here tonight. Greenlee is aiming just a little bit high, and now it's going to be 4th down for the Trojans, and a clear punting situation.
Yeah, and had he taken a little bit off that, that would have been a pick for Zach Lilly. So it's almost a good thing in that situation that he did overthrow it.
O'Shea Washington is in punt formation for the Trojans.
O'Shea Washington to punt
Tony
it away
Ellison
here for the
to receive
Trojans.
For the Grizzlies.
Tony Ellison back to receive for the Grizzlies. Here's the snap. Punt is up, and this one is going to take a bounce. Ellison fields it at the 50-yard line and does not get much more than that.
Washington's punt is returned by
A
Ellison.
shoelace tackle by number 40 for the
Stops
Trojans,
made by
Theron
Theron
Palmer. But the Grizzlies, great field
Ellison
position
returned with a
here.
5-yard return.
To
The
start
ball
off with, they're
replaced
going
at
to start with the ball
Lincoln
at the
46-yard
Trojan
line. It'll be a first and
46-yard
10
line,
Grizzlies.
easily their best starting field position of the night. And had it not been for that punt that had been called back, this would have been the second time tonight the Grizzlies have started one of their offensive drives in Trojan territory. First and 10 here for the Grizzlies. Ellison in motion from right to left. He gets the sweep. Partridge out in front of him to block. And a big block by Partridge, but Ellison does not get
Ellison on
much
the
farther than that. Ellison might have cut it up just a little bit early there, but still manages to pick up
Cameron Calder.
a solid chunky yardage. He gets all the way down to the
Gain of 3 on the
42
play,
for a
brings
gain
up
of
second and
4.
7.
Second and 6 coming up here for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies come out, trips to the right, turn it to the left. Caraway drops back, throws it to Ellison along the right side, and Ellison gets across the 30. Ellison, you cannot say enough about this kid right now. He's running the ball effectively, he's catching the ball effectively, and he is really the catalyst that is making this offense run right now. And he has the Grizzlies now inside the Trojans' 30-yard line for the third time in this game.
Well, looks like my little prediction earlier in the game was right.
And Lucas with more prognosticator points.
Hey, I'm racking them up over here.
Always against Lincoln, too, interestingly enough. First and 10 here for the Grizzlies. Andrew Towery going to get the sweep around the left side, and he has a solid carry, gets down to the 24-yard line. So the backup fly back, the man who comes in for Ellison when Ellison needs a little bit of a breather, making the most of his snaps, and, of course, after his small contribution, gain of 4 yards, Ellison is right back in the huddle, but Andrew Towery on his few snaps tonight has really had some excellent plays.
Well, I'm pretty sure you could say that about all the running backs here at Granite Bay. I mean, they have just been running the ball, and that's why this clock has been just keeping it going, because the Grizzlies have had the ball most of the game, and they just run it, and not on this play, but most of the time. Oh, my goodness.
And an excellent catch. The tight end, Stephen Graber, showing the hands along the right sideline. Caraway flushed out of the pocket once again. And the Trojans, they do only have one sack tonight, but they have had a lot of consistent pressure on Caraway. But it did not result in a big play for the defense there. Caraway rolled all the way to the right sideline before slinging a pass to the tight end.
Student government, please report to your stations
And he
immediately.
gains about 8 yards on that play, and it'll be a first and 10 for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 13. Grizzlies come out. Ellison in motion from right to left. Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. And Partridge gets the handoff up the middle. And the misdirection there by the Grizzlies fools the Trojans defense. And Partridge runs in from 13 yards out, untouched for the score. Grizzlies now up by 2 possessions, 13-0 on the Trojans.
Great job by the Grizzlies. I mean, this O-line, you cannot say enough about them. You cannot say enough about them. I mean, wow. They have been, this running back by committee that the Grizzlies run is really effective, because no team can cover one running back. They have to plan for all of them, and that's very tough to plan for one, let alone 4. And, I mean, this O-line, you got to give them major props this season.
Absolutely, they played excellently here so far early in this game, but as we mentioned, one of the keys to winning this one is Granite Bay cannot let their foot off the gas once again, as they did last week when they got upset by the Pittsburgh Pirates. After the 13-yard run by the fullback Partridge, Grizzlies on top 14-0 on the
attention,
Trojans
please.
with
Mr. Javier, this is
7:19
half,
left to
and
play
Mr.
here in the
Zabrowski,
half.
We need you to report to the 50-yard line now.
Colin Brown coming on to kick here for the Grizzlies.
Colin Brown is set to kick
Osha
for
Washington
the
and
Grizzlies.
Justin Davis back to receive for the Trojans.
John Lopez and Thomas Arismendi are deep to receive for the Trojans.
And this is a long kick. And it takes a bounce, and the Grizzlies dive on top of it. A breakdown in communication for the Trojans. And the Grizzlies have recovered the football. A huge mistake by the Trojan kick return team. And the Grizzlies, for the third time tonight, will start with the ball in Trojan territory. And the Grizzly offense does not get much rest there. Bo Hirschberger with the big recovery on the kickoff to get the Grizzly offense back on the field. First and 10 for the Grizzlies. Ball on the Trojan 20. Cooley gets the handoff up the middle. Breaks a tackle. And is stopped just short of the 15-yard line. Gain of about 3.5. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies.
John Cooley, ball carrier. Stops made by Adrian Ramos. A gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Second and 7 for the Grizzlies after the short run by Cooley. Ellison inserted to the left. Cooley in the backfield once again. Quick swing past Ellison. Cuts up at the 10, at the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. And Tony Ellison, who has been making the big plays all over the field tonight for the Grizzlies, finally gets his first points of the night. And the junior, who makes the offense go for this Grizzly team, finally gets some points on the board. It was bound to happen sooner or later. And the Grizzlies now up by 3 possessions here in the first half.
But just this Grizzlies team, I don't know if it's homecoming night or something is in the air tonight. They are playing on another level. It's magical what's happening here right now.
And the PAT by Colin Brown is good. So with 6:32 left to play in the half, Grizzlies now 21-0 on the Lincoln and Stockton Trojans. Really, really bad mistake by the Trojan kick return team, and the Grizzlies waste no time in capitalizing. Two plays, 20 yards, and the Grizzlies with that 3rd touchdown of the game. And Colin Brown has been busy tonight. 3 PATs already. And this will be his 4th kickoff of the ball game.
Kick again for the Grizzlies.
He must be getting a little bit tired out there.
For the Trojans.
Well, it's tough when you have to go out and kick twice in almost a minute.
A minor hardship, I'm sure he's not feeling too bad about.
I'm sure he can take one for the team.
And Brown set to kick again. Washington and Davis back deep to receive. Again. And this one is a booming kick. Fielded by Washington at about the 3-yard line. Cuts to the right. Makes a man miss at the 25 and is taken down
Kick is returned by Washington.
by 2 Grizzly kick defenders. And the Trojans will start with the ball 1st and 10 on their own 25. Griffin Powers, the senior for the Grizzlies, credited with the stop.
Ball we place at the Trojan 25-yard line after a gain of 20. 1st and 10, Lincoln.
Trojans desperate to get anything going here. Desperate for points. Greenlee in the shotgun with Davis. 3 wide receiver set. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back. And he's looking around. He looks like he's going to try and scramble for this one. At the last second, he slings it deep. Looking downfield, but threw it into traffic. 3 Grizzly defenders covering the intended target. And really not a great pass by Greenlee either. Made his receiver go up to get it. And Grizzly defenders were draped all over him.
Lilly defended on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Your attention, please. Mr. Javier and Mr. Zabrowski, please report to the 50-yard line immediately. Thank you. Mr. Javier and Mr. Zabrowski.
After the incompletion by Greenlee, it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. And the Trojans, this is playing right into the Grizzlies' hands. They're going to have to take the ball out of Davis's hands now and start to throw because they're so far behind, and that will bode really well for the Grizzlies. Greenlee tried to throw along the right sideline, and the pass was tipped by a Grizzly defender before being caught
Pass complete from Zach Greenlee to O'Shea Washington.
by O'Shea Washington.
Knocked out of bounds by Luke Bussey.
And the Trojans gain enough for a first down.
Gain of 13 on the play and a first down, Trojans.
Yeah, and Justin Davis has been quiet tonight, which I'm not sure I've ever heard that. But, I mean, this Lincoln of Stockton passing offense, the offense in general has got to get going if they want to get back in this game. Grizzlies are really fired up right now. Looking much like they did against Vacaville. And there's a sack. Oh, a flag.
Greenlee is sacked on a play by Tyler Arneson.
And right
There's a flag
after
on the
the
play.
fluky completion by the Trojans, Tyler Arneson, one of the defensive linemen for the Grizzlies, gets a big sack on Greenlee. There's a flag on the play, and it will go against the Grizzlies. Cooper not happy about that one. It is going to be a face mask against the Grizzlies. Apparently Arneson got a little bit of the cage when he was getting the sack. First and 10 here for the Trojans, and Greenlee gets the hard count. And mistakes starting to compound here for this Grizzly defense. And they really are playing excellently. I guess the Trojans figure if they can't get the ball through, around, under, over this Grizzly defense, why not try for a couple of hard counts and get some penalties against them to try and discourage them from being aggressive. So as a result of the penalty, it'll now be 1st and 11 for the Grizzlies. Greenlee hands it off to Smith, and Smith will be stopped for a loss.
Stops made by Tyler Arneson and company.
And, I mean,
Loss of 2 on the play.
this
Brings up 2nd and
Stockton
13.
offense, excuse me, they have got to find something else to do because Justin Davis cannot get anything going. And I don't know if that's a credit to him, but it's definitely a mixture of him and the offensive line. Something needs to happen here for Lincoln.
Loss of 3 by Davis. 2nd and long here for the Trojans. Davis is the single back. Play action. Greenlee looking right. Throwing deep downfield, looking for O'Shea Washington, incomplete.
Washington, incomplete.
3rd
Zach Lilly provided the
and
coverage on the
long coming up here for the
play. It'll be
Trojans.
3rd down.
And Trojans taking a long time to get to the line. They come out in a spread formation, 4 wide receiver set, trips to the right. Davis lined up in shotgun with Greenlee. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back, looking right, throwing to Osha Washington. It is complete, and he's then knocked out of bounds just past midfield.
Pass complete for Zach
That's a gain
Greenlee
of
to
16
Washington.
yards. And we'll get the Trojans into Grizzly territory for only the second time tonight.
Yeah, and he was wide open, but that's about the first time that we've seen some poor coverage with him where Zach Greenlee is capitalized. So Grizzlies have been quite lucky with that aspect, but
Pitch play on 1st and 10 for the
Justin
Trojans.
Davis, the ball carrier.
Davis not going anywhere though, and he will be stopped
Stops made
for
by
a loss
Cameron
of
Smith
1.
and Bo
Cameron
Hirschberger.
Smith and Bo Hirschberger, the linebackers
No
who we
gain on
have
the play, it'll be
said
2nd and 10.
time and time again have been making plays tonight. Hirschberger, of course, with the big kickoff return recovery. And Cameron Smith just with a lot of big plays so far tonight. He had a big sack. He's had a lot of tackles, and they combined for a tackle for loss there on running back Justin Davis. Second and 10 for the Trojans. 3 wide receivers set. Davis, the lone back. Play action. Greenlee scrambling to the right. Throws it deep. And was looking for Osha Washington. And they're calling it a catch, saying he got a foot in bounds.
Greenlee pass, rule complete to Alexander.
That was to Alexander. Excuse me. And that'll be a gain of 15. So 2 passes, 2 completions, 31 yards on
Pick
the
up a
past 2
14
snaps.
play, first
And you
down,
cannot
Trojans.
let Zach Greenlee, an Elite 11 quarterback, start to get a rhythm here late in the half so that he comes out with more confidence in the 3rd quarter.
well, he's been hot on these last 2 plays, so let's see if the Grizzlies defense keys in and adapts.
Full house formation for the Trojans. Handoff is to Justin Davis again and again.
Justin Smith, the
The
ball carrier.
Grizzly defense smothers him. The USC commit, one of the greatest running backs that the Sac Joaquin section really has seen in about a decade, has not even sniffed the end zone tonight. And really, I can't remember any run for more than 10 yards that he's had. The Grizzly defense really shutting him down so far tonight. 2nd and 9 now for the Trojans. Full house formation again. Washington to the left, the lone wide receiver. Greenlee drops back. Looking for Washington, and Washington with another reception.
Greenlee's pass complete to
And
O'Shea
that's a gain of
Washington.
15. And now Greenlee starting to become a
Stops
little
made by
bit
Luke
lethal
Bussey.
with these
Pass is
passes.
good
He's
for a
completed
first
3 in a
down.
row for 46 yards, and now has the Trojans in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Well, that was a great job by Greenlee to read the zone coverage that the Grizzlies were throwing at him there. Luke Bussey, the cornerback on that play, had a nice 10-yard cushion on Osha Washington. So great job by Osha Washington to read that and have a nice curl pattern and catch the ball.
1st and 10, Justin Davis gets the handoff again, and he fumbles the football! Ball was fumbled at the 20-yard line, and it looks like Davis recovered his own fumble. He fumbled it and then fell right back on top of it, but he still loses 2 on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Trojans. From the 21-yard line of the Grizzlies, we have just over 2 minutes to play here in the half.
Tony Milo and Cameron Smith in on the play there.
Full house formation. Washington, the lone receiver to the right. Greenlee dropping back, looking on the fade route for Washington, and it falls incomplete. Way overthrown by Greenlee. And, you know,
Greenlee's pass intended for Washington, incomplete.
something I've been noticing. Early on in the game, Greenlee was going
Zach
for a lot
Greenlee provided the
of
coverage on the play.
seam routes,
It'll be
fade
3rd
routes,
and
out
11.
routes, and was overthrowing just about every single one. Then, on this drive, early on, they've gone for a lot of shorter patterns where they've had Osha Washington and Alexander coming back to the football, and that was working really well. And then there again, you see Osha Washington running the fade route, and Greenlee overthrows him again. So maybe something to keep an eye on there. Maybe they have Greenlee start to run similar pass plays to what Granite Bay's been running, simple but effective. Spread formation, 4 wide receiver set. Greenlee drops back. He's under pressure. Scrambling to the right, and he is going to be taken down,
Pass is incomplete.
but he does get the pass away. It'll be
Coverage
incomplete.
provided on the play.
But there is just a host of referees that are bombarding the field with laundry, and this will most likely be a horse collar or a roughing the passer call against the Grizzlies. Short stoppage of play on the field as the ref discusses the call. Most surely going to go against Granite Bay.
Personal foul. Horse collar by DK.
It is going to be a personal foul against the Grizzlies. Horse collar is the call. It should be half the distance to the goal. That does not appear to be the case, though. Ball is currently spotted on the Grizzlies' 17-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 8 for the Trojans. 1:30 to play here in the first half. Spread formation for the Trojans. Davis alone in shotgun with Greenlee. 4 wide receivers. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back. Quick swing pass to Davis, and he is not going anywhere. He is brought down in the backfield by 2 Grizzly defenders.
Another flag,
And
though.
Cameron Smith, yeah, getting the big play there for a huge loss, but we have another flag.
It
It appears that it's going to be a holding call against the Trojans on one of
Flag
their
on the
wide
play.
receivers that was
The
downfield
ref
blocking.
was pointing both ways. Hang on.
Holding. The penalty is declined.
Call was holding on the
Okay.
offense on a receiver downfield,
Holding the
like
call
I
against
thought.
the Trojans.
Penalty is declined,
Grizzlies decline. It'll be
so it'll be 4th and long for the Trojans.
All right, so
Timeout,
here's why the ref
Grizzlies.
was pointing both ways. He was holding his arms out, extended, as if he was motioning to Cooper, do you want to decline this? And Cooper, of course, said yes. So it will be a 4th down and long.
4th and 17 is going to be the down and distance for the Trojans when we come back. Timeout taken by the Grizzlies here. Their first of the half. We'll be back with you here in just a couple seconds. We'll take a momentary break here from Granite Bay High School.
Grizzly fans, as a reminder, during the halftime show, please avoid standing in the middle section so everyone can enjoy the show this evening. Thanks so much for your cooperation.
Hey, all you Grizzly fans. From the first game to the final test, there's always a good reason to Buka. Granite Bay High School student groups of 15 or more receive a special youth menu rate, perfect for winter ball. For more information, contact Kat at 916-771-9463. Again, that's 916-771-9463.
And thank you, Lucas, for that message from one of our sponsors, Buca di Beppo. Excellent Italian restaurant. They have some of the best lasagna in really Roseville as a whole.
Can't forget about those fist-sized meatballs. They are huge.
Back to business here at Granite Bay High School. The Trojans are going to go for it here on 4th and 17 from the Grizzly 26. And now it appears that
Trojans.
Lincoln is rethinking that. We were wondering what the deal was with that. The Trojans take their second timeout of the half. We will once again take another timeout here from Granite Bay High School and be back with you here for what should be the closing action of this first half here in just a couple seconds. 1:23 left to play here in the first half as we currently stand here at Granite Bay High School. Grizzlies dominating the Trojans here early on, up by 21 points, 21-0 on the Trojans. And the Trojans, who we thought were going to bring out the kicking unit after that timeout, once again opt to go for it. So 4th and 17 here for the Trojans. They come out, trips to the right. Alexander alone to the left side. Greenlee dropping back, under pressure. Chased backwards by Cameron Smith. Greenlee scrambling around, looking upfield. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Another loss to the Trojans and a turnover on downs. Grizzly defense continues to dominate.
Sacked on the play by Tyler Arneson. The green machine holds. It'll be a first down, Grizzlies.
And with that stop on 4th down, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on their own. 27:08 to play in the first half. Grizzlies come out, trips to the left, one man to the right. Partridge alone in the backfield. Caraway looking to the left, throws it to Ellison. And Ellison gets just enough for the first down, and more importantly, gets out of bounds quickly. So 7 seconds, 10-yard gain. And that was Garrity, the junior for the Grizzlies.
And we've had many problems with that so far this season. The 28 and the 39. Tony Ellison is 39. Michael Garrity is 28. And under these lights and when they're playing, the jerseys kind of get scrunched, and it is hard to see the numbers.
Honestly,
so
I don't think we've
all
confused
apologies.
2 players more than those 2 this season. Here's the snap. Caraway looking for Garrity, making sure to get that one right this time, and he finds him along the right sideline for a gain of 4 and a first down Grizzlies. And again, Garrity makes the heads-up play to get out of bounds.
How about Michael Garrity?
1st and 10 for the Grizzlies once again on their own 41. 54 seconds left to play here in the half. And I like the aggressive play calling here by the Grizzlies. Cooper accused after the game last week against Pittsburgh that he was far too conservative in his play calling in that game. And the Grizzlies really looking nice and aggressive here at the end of the first half. Pass was attempted for Michael Garrity once again, this time incomplete.
Garrity, incomplete.
2nd and 10.
That's 3 straight targets for Garrity, 2 of them being catches. Something brewing there.
Appears we had a penalty on that last play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Automatic. First down.
Penalty called was roughing the passer on the Trojans, so another huge penalty against the Trojans. That's a 15-yarder. And the ball will now be spotted inside Trojan territory at the 44-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10 once again for the Grizzlies. Grizz come out, trips to the right, Cerna alone to the left. Here's the snap, Caraway has a lot of time, looking to the right, makes a man miss. He's gonna run and gain minimal yardage. Not a real heads-up play there by Caraway. You don't have a whole lot of time left in the half, but to the Grizzlies' credit, they are being aggressive, trying to get some more points before halftime, and they get the ball to start the second half. And Caraway, after he is stopped in bounds, immediately takes the timeout. So with 36 seconds left to play here in the first half, Grizzlies leading the Trojans 21-0. We will take a short break as well. And back with you at Granite Bay High School. 4 wide receivers set for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 9 on the Trojan 43. Caraway finds Garrity once again. Garrity now with 3 catches on this drive. The junior backup running back for the Grizzlies, really looking like Darren Sproles out there.
Well, now you're taking my player comparisons. But no, in all seriousness, 4 straight targets. All 4 targets have gone to Michael Garrity this drive. So
1st and 10 now for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 33. Garrity lined up wide to the right, and again, target looks like it was going to Garrity. Instead, it was caught by Tony Ellison. The 2 players really interchangeable, both of them excellent in both the passing and the running game. And that'll be a gain of 8 after Caraway completes that pass to Ellison, and the Grizzlies will take their last time out of the first half to stop the clock with 21 seconds left. Grizzlies still up 21-0. We'll take another quick break here before what should be the closing action of the first half. Second and 1 for the Grizzlies with 21 seconds left. Ball on the Trojan 24. Ellison and Cerna out to the left side, and handoff goes to Cooley up the middle, and he is still going.
John Cooley carries for a first
And
down.
he gets the first down. Grizzlies going to have to get up to the line quickly, though. 14 seconds left, and since they ran the ball, the clock is going to keep going. Caraway trying to get to the line to spike the ball. And he does. 11.9 the time left on the clock. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies now on the Trojan 14. So maybe you get 1 more play, maybe 2 if you're lucky, before you have to try for the field goal if you don't get the touchdown.
yeah, Grizzlies, I mean, really, they could kick a field goal now. I mean, waste a little bit more time. Like, I don't know, run it out of bounds or something, but honestly, they could kick a field goal and be happy after this drive. They really don't need that much more points.
3 wide receivers set for the Grizzlies. Short drop for Caraway. He's throwing the fade route to Cerna, and it's a touchdown! The Grizzlies put up 7 more before halftime. It's a 14-yard pass from Grant Caraway to the senior wide receiver, Ty Cerna. And the Grizzlies continue the shutout, but more impressively are now up by 4 possessions, 27-0 on the Trojans, and this is turning into a blowout. PAT attempt coming up here by Colin Brown. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is right through the uprights with 6 seconds to play in the first half. Grizzlies now at 28-0.
That was a total breakdown in communication in the secondary of Lincoln of Stockton there. Great job by Grant Caraway to see Ty Cerna there and throw him the nice fade route. Grizzlies up by 4 touchdowns now.
And the Grizzlies will most likely attempt a squib kick here to the Trojans just to try and run out the rest of this time and not let the Trojans get off any more offensive plays here before halftime. We invite you to join us for our halftime show tonight, which may be a little bit longer than normal because of homecoming festivities here at Granite Bay High School. We will also mention some of those who have been selected for homecoming royalty here from Granite Bay High School for those of you interested in that. Brown does squib it. Fielded by the Trojans, and it was fumbled once again. Number 11 for the Trojans,
Brown's kick
John
is down by
Lopez.
John Lopez.
He tried to scoop it and keep
Inside
running, but was not
25-yard
able
line,
to
it'll
do
be a
so
first
and
and
made
10
contact with the
Trojans.
ball and just had to dive on it. So as a result, the Trojans do not lose all their time. They do have 3.5 seconds left here in the first half, but it looks like they're going to come out here. And it looked like for a second they might just try and take a knee. And that is what they will do. They'll run out the clock here. So an impressive first half by the Granite Bay Grizzlies. They're dominating this one. Current score, Grizzlies 28, Trojans zilch. We'll be back with you here in just a few minutes for homecoming festivities and a recap of the first half. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Welcome all to our journey through time. Tonight, alumni, students, staff, and our community will venture through the ages. My name is Eddie Schubert, and I will be your MC for the evening.
And I'm Brad Ranke. I will also be announcing tonight's festivities. Thank you all for attending tonight to celebrate our 14th annual homecoming. First, please direct your attention above as we would like to present to you one of the only choreographed homecoming fireworks shows in the area.
Walk like an Egyptian.
and J&M Displays West, along with the fire department, for that amazing display and for all their help this year.
Now we would like to direct your attention ahead as we have our class 4 parade. For our last in time homecoming theme, each class has chosen an area and time to depict.
On behalf of all the classes, we would like to thank the Maxies for hosting the freshman float,
The Harrisons for hosting the sophomore float,
the Thomases for hosting the junior float,
and the Coltons for hosting the senior float.
we would also like
Make way for ancient Egypt. Rock like an Egyptian with the freshmen. Here comes the class of 2016 with the Egypt-themed float. To the left is the three-dimensional pyramid being protected by the mummified freshmen. To the right, the majestic Sphinx is secretly watching over the land of Egypt. Watch out for the cobra passing by. Great job, class of 2016. Next up, we have the third place float, the class of 2014.
move the clock forward and step into the future with the class of 2014. Follow the juniors as they explore a time when jetpacks are the norm and the city is electric. Bright lights just swing around you. Your imagination is running over time. The world you've dreamt of has come alive. So here we go. Look ahead because past is behind you. That was great, juniors. Now we would like to introduce you to our second place float for the class of 2015.
Come along with us as we pass through the age of exploration. Next, we have the shining sophomore float sailing through sparkling water. There's the captain steering the ship with their sturdy crew safely into the harbor. The cannons are firing out to sea while the first mate keeps watching the crow's nest. Thanks, sophomores. Wow, that float looks amazing. And here come the seniors with the first place float.
Welcome back to prehistoric times, when dinosaurs ruled the earth. Watch as the seniors live amongst the friendly brontosauruses and avoid the deadly bloodthirsty T-Rex. But it looks as if the volcano is going to erupt. Will the seniors and dinosaurs be able to escape the molten lava?
Great job, seniors! You pros, very impressive. Congratulations to the class of 2013 for their winning float. They all looked awesome. We would like to thank Con Cole from the BMW dealership in Roseville for the beautiful royalty cars you see before you.
And the Pouch family for lending us their Escalade for the senior gentlemen.
Our royalty commissioners, Maddie Wolf, Danielle Casano, Jared Mayer, and Melissa Babanapinich. We'll be greeting our royalty crew this evening.
Earlier today, the freshmen, sophomore, and junior princes and princesses were announced at the royalty rally.
Please hold all of your applause until the end of each introduction. Thank you.
First, we would like to introduce you to the 2012 freshman class prince, Reed Holman. Reed has a long-term goal of making it into his dream college of Stanford. His short-term goal is to continue pushing himself to be the best he can be in sports and academics. Reed's most embarrassing moment was in the 6th grade when he twisted his ankle doing the jerk the day before a big football game.
Accompanying Reed is the 2012 freshman princess, Kylie Shimada. Kylie's long-term goal is to get into Hawaii Pacific University on a cheerleading scholarship. Her most embarrassing moment was at a football game when she tripped while giving her friend Maya a piggyback ride in front of the whole football team. Congratulations to our court from the class of 2016.
Next, we have the 2012 sophomore prince, Oliver Witters. Oliver plays volleyball for Granite Bay and enjoys helping out around campus. His favorite high school memory was when he and a friend won 2nd place at a beach volleyball tournament.
Accompanying Oliver is the 2012 sophomore princess, Carissa Mastantonio. Carissa's long-term goal is to get into a good college and be happy with whatever she's doing in life. Her favorite teacher was Mr. Tasser because he was a great English teacher by pushing her to be a better writer.
Next, we have the 2012 junior prince, Tommy Thompson. Tommy's short-term goal is to graduate high school a year early and get his master's at the business school at Indiana University. His long-term goal is to continue practicing and working hard so he can become a professional soccer player. Accompanying Tommy is the 2012 Junior Princess, Callie Chamberlain. Callie plays varsity volleyball for Granite Bay and is involved in martial arts, and last month earned her third-degree black belt. If Callie was given $1 million, she would buy an iPhone, buy her mom a new car, and go to Smash Burger to celebrate. Congratulations to our royalty from the classes of 2013, 2015, and 2016. And now we present to you the candidates for the 2012 Homecoming King and Queen. Our first King candidate is Charlie Gunn, accompanied by his mom, Vanessa. Charlie's favorite high school memory is going to all the dances with a big group of his friends and going to Mel's Diner afterwards. His favorite teacher is Mrs. Dixon because she is super awesome and makes all the classes she teaches fun. Our first senior queen candidate is Megan Zabrowski, accompanied by her dad, Dave. Megan is on the varsity girls volleyball team and is the design editor for the yearbook. Her short-term goal is to be accepted to Notre Dame University, and her long-term goal is to travel to a new country every year. If given $1 million, Megan will buy a whole new wardrobe and save the rest for later in life. Our next king candidate is John Hatt, accompanied by his mom, Sally. John is currently in media and drama and produces videos for a company outside of school. His most embarrassing moment was junior year when he was reading the teleprompter for the bulletin and the clip of his voice cracking was broadcast to the entire school. Our next queen candidate is Ginny Gilbert, accompanied by her dad, William. Ginny is involved in the National Charity League, is a pediatric volunteer at Center Hospital, and is captain of the speech and debate team. Her favorite teacher is Senora Gonzalez because she inspires her to work hard and stand up for herself. Our next king candidate is Joey Long, accompanied by his mom, JT. Joey's hobbies are always changing. Currently he enjoys cliff jumping, slack riding, and will always love snowboarding. If given $1 million, Joey will pay Morgan Freeman to follow him around and narrate his life. Our next queen candidate is Madison Javier. Madison Javier, accompanied by her dad, Doug. Madison's goal is to go to college either in San Francisco or Southern California and get a job in music therapy. Her favorite high school memory was last year when she and all of her friends went all out dressing up for Spirit Days. Our next senior king candidate is Anthony Peterson, accompanied by his mom, Laura. Anthony's favorite high school memory is getting canned by a group of freshmen. If given $1 million, he would buy a really, really nice Prius and 100 copies of 2 Chainz' new album. Our next queen candidate is Paige Binkmeyer, accompanied by her dad, Chris. Paige's interests include spending time with her family, singing in her car, and doing random things with her friends. Her favorite staff member is Remy because he has such a soul in the heart and does so much to make GBHS a happy place to be. Our final king candidate is Grayson Walker, accompanied by his mom, Stephanie. Grayson loves golf and rugby. He loves to dance, snowboard, and wakeboard. His hobbies are skimboarding, being funny, and being one of the tribe leaders. Grayson's favorite high school memory was performing in the spring dance show of last year. Our final queen candidate is Naveen Chowdhury, accompanied by her dad, Johnny. Naveen's long-term goal is to one day meet Chris Brown, become a mom with 3 boys, and live in San Jose. If she was given $1 million, she would go to dinner with Chris Brown, and after, sing the program at one of his concerts. And now we would like to welcome back our homecoming 2011 King and Queen, Ian Fitzgerald and Megan Harris. Ian and Megan will be crowning tonight's King and Queen. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Our 2012 Homecoming King is John Hatt.
And our 2012 homecoming queen is Megan Zabrowski! Congratulations, John and Megan! And congratulations to freshman prince and princess Reed Harmon and Kylie Shimada. And to our sophomore royalty, Amber Rivers and Chris and Max D'Antonio. And to the junior prince and princess, Tommy Thompson and Callie Chamberlain. And to our senior royalty court. Charlie and Jenny. And Joey and Madison. Anthony and Paige. Grayson and Naveen. And the big queen, John and Megan. They have been crowned king and queen of the ages.
Now let's go back
In time to the game versus Lincoln and Stockton. Go Grizzlies! We apologize very dearly for our sound problems. Thank you very much.
Testing. Test.
Welcome back to Granite Bay High School for tonight's Granite Bay Today's sports broadcast team coverage of Sac Joaquin section football, production of Play on Sports Network. I'm Neil Martin with Lucas Carlson. Just now beginning the second half, Grizzlies just fielded the kickoff from the Trojans as they will get the ball to start the second half off. At the end of the first half, the Grizzlies dominated the Trojans 28-0. And Lucas, you have a pretty big stat that contributed to the reason why we won the first half by so much.
Yeah, the Trojans running -8 yards in the first half. That is from a USC commit. In your backfield, he does not have positive rushing yards. That is not going to help you win ball games, and that is clearly reflected on the scoreboard as the Grizzlies lead 28-0 as we start this second half of action. And there is an injury on the field.
Grant Caraway will open up the second half at quarterback for the Grizzlies.
After the injury, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on their own 34. Ellison in motion from left to right, and he will get the sweep around the right side. Gets up
Tony Ellison, the ball
just
carrier.
short of the 40. That'll be a gain of 5 down to the 39. Second and 5 coming up for the Grizzlies.
Stop is made by Adrian Ramos along with Cyrus Boone. Gain of 5 on the play makes it 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 for the Grizzlies. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Cooley around the right tackle. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. Makes a man miss.
John
And
Cooley carries for a first down.
Showing how good he is when he finally gets an open space. He doesn't
Made
get a
by
whole lot of
Cyrus
those
Boone.
open space looks, but when he does, he makes the most of them.
Gain
He
of
gets all
12
the
on
way
the play
down
for Cooley.
to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 12.
And great job by Johnny Cooley to keep the legs pumping there. And just, I mean, this is just simple yet effective running, but I mean, no big plays, just solid pickups every play, and the Grizzlies are really effective with the ball right now.
1st and 10 for the Grizz. Ellison in motion from right to left. Handoff will be to Cooley once again. He has a lot of blockers out in front of him, but gets wrapped up. That was
Cooley
a
with the
nice
carry.
open field tackle.
Stops made by Mikey Toloy.
Micah Toilea with the tackle on that play.
Gain of 3 on the play brings
Only
up
a
2nd and
gain
7.
of 3 for Cooley on that one. It'll be a 2nd and 7 for the Grizzlies inside Trojan territory.
Ellison has 101 rushing yards in this game. He's been, wow. I mean, we just got that stat from our statistician, Kaya Drongason, so.
Pass
Thank
here
you, Kaya.
from Caraway to Garrity, so that
Caraway's pass complete to Michael
dashes
Garrity.
all myth about Garrity only being out there for the
Made by
2-minute
Adrian
drill.
Ramos.
Apparently they're really starting to use him heavily in this passing game. That is a 6-yard reception.
7 on the play,
They're
makes
going to call it a
3rd and 1.
7-yard reception now for Garrity. And that'll pick up a 3rd and inches for the Grizzlies at the Trojan 40-yard line. Grizzlies come out in a strong jumbo set. Handoff is to Cooley around the right side. He's at the 35, still on his feet,
John
past the 30.
Cooley carries.
And Cooley stumbles ahead
Stops made by Chris Valeros.
for a gain of about
12-yard
12.
gain on the play and a first down
10 for the
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Ball on the 27. Cerna, the lone wide receiver. Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Cooley gets the handoff around right tackle. He has a block out in front of him. He's at the 20, at the 15. And
Cooley,
stopped
ball
just
carrier.
short of the 10-yard line.
Stops made
At
by
the
O'Shea
13.
Washington.
Gain of 14 yards before being stopped by two-way star
Another 12 yards on the
Osho
play and a
Washington.
First down,
Yeah, that'll be
Grizzlies.
another first down for the Grizzlies. Cooley, so far the big playmaker in the second half. Snap. Handoff is to Cooley around the right tackle, and he trips.
Cooley with the carry.
Trying
Nice
to cut it
shoelace tackle
around the
there.
right side, and he gets
Tripped upon the
stopped
play by Adrian Ramos.
for no gain.
No gain on the play. It'll be
A
second and 10.
for the Grizzlies now. Miguel Vega with the shoelace tackle on Cooley. Interesting formation here. Ellison and Partridge in the backfield. Cooley and Cerna out to the left. Here's the snap. Screen pass to Ellison. Good blocking by Cerna and Cooley out front. Allowing Ellison to cut up the left sideline and get enough for a first down, but he will be stopped just short of the touchdown. So it'll be first and goal for the Grizzlies after another nice play by Tony Ellison. We've been saying that a lot tonight. 8.5 to play in the third quarter. Upset score. Deer Valley just upset Vacaville 55-35. And the Grizzlies on the 1 yard line
Cooling the ball carrier.
get stuffed.
Stops made by Adele Story.
Other updates, Downey defeats Gregory 52-14 in a rout, and Ponderosa loses on a last-second field goal to Rio Linda 15-13. Ponderosa is supposed to be a team that was really much improved this year, and so far haven't exactly showed it. Second and goal here for the Grizzlies from the 1 yard line. 3 wide receivers set. Ellison in motion. He's going to get a sweep around the right side. Blocking is good, and he is in. Touchdown, Grizzlies.
Touchdown, Grizzlies!
Second touchdown of the night for Tony Ellison.
Tony Ellison scores a 1 yard out.
That was a great job by Tony Ellison off the sweep, and just great blocking upfield and simple touchdown. Grizzlies extend their lead to 35-0, and you gotta wonder if Lincoln of Stockton even has a chance to put up any points in this game.
PAT attempt by Colin Brown. Steps good, hold is good, and the kick follows the pattern. So the Grizzlies with 7:29 left to play in the third quarter go up 35-0 on the Stockton, the Stockton Trojans. Scoring drive for the Grizzlies took just about 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Scoring play, a 1 yard run by Tony Ellison. Well, the blowout continues here at Granite Bay High School as Colin Brown continues to get good work with his leg tonight. Another PAT and another kickoff for him.
Seen a lot of action in this game.
Brown set to kick for the Grizzlies. Washington and Davis are deep to receive for the Trojans.
Wind's starting to pick up here at Granite Bay High School a little bit. See how that affects the game, if at all. And here's the kick. It'll be fielded by Osha Washington at the 10 yard line. He cuts it to the left side. He's at the 20, tries to cut back to the right, and he is nailed by Andrew Towery, one of the gunners for the Grizzlies.
Ball will be placed at the 19-yard line after a 9-yard return.
Ball will be spotted first and 10 for the Trojans at the 18-yard line.
Great job by the Grizzlies special team unit to go down and stop them
Zach
early.
Greenlee will open that quarterback for the Trojans in the second half.
Greenlee under center. Davis the lone back. They're going to throw a quick pass to Osha Washington, and he has a lot of open room along the sideline. Made a man miss at about the
Pass
35
complete for Zach Greenlee
and was
O'Shea,
able to get
Washington.
about 15 more yards all the way down to the 48-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10
Tackle
for the
made by
Trojans.
Grant Powers.
Nice pass play there by the Trojans. Not really fancy, just a quick little
A gain of
swing
29
pass.
plays.
Simple
First down
catch
on
and
Lincoln.
run and let the speed of Osha Washington carry him. I mean, wow.
Yeah. 29 yards on the reception by Washington. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. 2 wide receivers. Davis the lone back. Here's the snap. Davis gonna get the handoff to the left side and cuts back to the right side. Makes a man miss, and for the first time tonight,
Justin Davis, the
Justin
ball
Davis
carrier.
able to find a hole. That's his longest run of the night, 9
Stopped
yards.
by Spencer Castingway.
And to some degree, that you gotta give credit to
Gain
the
of
Grizzly
9 on the play
defense.
brings up 2nd
The
and 1.
USC commit's longest run of the night is 9 yards. That run will get the Trojans into Grizzly territory, 2nd and 1 on the Grizzly 43.
Well, Justin Davis has not had much luck tonight. Let's see if he can find his rhythm here in the 3rd quarter.
Davis throws a little out route to Alexander, who was brought down at the 35-yard line. That'll be a 1st down and a gain of 8 for the Trojans.
Luke Bussing is providing the defense. A gain of 8 on the play and a 1st and 10 Trojans.
First and 10, same formation again for the Trojans. It's the 3rd time in a row they've gone with that formation, and Davis gets
Davis,
the
the ball
handoff.
carrier.
Going towards the left side, and again, not finding any room to run. He's brought down for a loss of 1.
Tackle
Still
on the
no
play by
luck.
Luke Jarvis
I mean,
and
this is
Tony
just-
Milo.
Luke Jarvis, the big defensive tackle with the stop
Loss of
on
1
that
on the
play.
play brings up 2nd and 11.
Greenlee under center, Davis lone back. Greenlee dropping back, rolling to the right. He's under pressure. Cameron Smith charging at him from the blind side, and Greenlee.
Greenlee's pass
No
is
time to
incomplete.
throw. Great coverage downfield by the Grizzlies, and he just had to throw that one away. And so now it'll be 3rd and long for the Trojans. Ball on the Grizzly 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 11. Third and 11. 1 man to the left, 1 to the right. Davis the one back. Play action. Greenlee rolling to the right and throws along the right sideline. That's complete to Osha Washington.
Greenlee's pass complete to O'Shea Washington. Zach Lilly on the tackle.
That's a gain of 15 and a 1st down for the Trojans.
A gain of 15 on the play. 1st down Trojans.
We have an update from the Del Oro Logan game. They are tied at 13 heading into overtime.
Logan, not really a team name that a lot of people are probably familiar with, but as of right now, this week, they were one of the top 25 ranked teams in the Northern California region, according to MaxPreps.com. I believe they were ranked number 5 when I checked last.
There is a flag on the
So
play.
really a force to be reckoned with, and Del Oro, who we thought was a top 5 Northern California team heading into this season, they're currently 0-4. Really giving Logan a run for their money, so maybe they're trying to get their season back on track just as Granite Bay is seemingly doing here tonight. Both teams were really supposed to be the 2 big powerhouses of Northern California this year, along with De La Salle and a couple others, Bellarmine and etc. But Granite Bay and Del Oro so far have not lived up to their expectations. Grizzlies 1-3, going to be 2-3 after this game, as it would seem now. And Del Oro, if they can get a win over Logan, that would be huge. penalty on the Trojans. It'll now be 1st and 22 on the Grizzly 34. 2 wide receiver set. Greenlee is in shotgun. Drops back. Looking left. Throwing to Alexander. And Alexander makes an excellent catch. But the defender able to separate Alexander from the ball. That was a big hit by number 24, Grant Powers.
Brings up 2nd and 22.
2nd and 22 now coming up for the Trojans. Some other score updates. Center defeats Vanden 28-24, and Jesuit defeats Laguna Creek 43-7. 3 wide receiver set here for the Trojans. Greenlee dropping back, looking for Washington, and it is
Greenlee's pass
incomplete.
intended for Washington, incomplete.
Off the hands of Washington, and Luke Bussey angry at himself that he was not ready for that.
Luke Bussey provided the coverage
I
on
mean,
the play.
you can't really be
He
ready
made
for
third
that.
down.
You expect him to catch it. He was going for the tackle there,
Oh yeah, well,
and the rebound comes off, and it was behind him.
it hit him right in the numbers. I mean, that was a perfect pass by Greenlee. You can't throw the ball any better than that. See, your best wide receiver in Osha Washington has to make that catch.
Yeah, Luke took the safety numbers there, and I don't blame him.
4 wide receiver set, trips to the left. Greenlee in shotgun. Here's the snap. Greenlee dropping back under pressure. Throws to the left, looking for Washington, and it's incomplete. Overthrown, out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th
Greenlee's pass
and
intended for
miles
Washington,
to go
incomplete.
for the Trojans.
Luke Bussey provided
Luke
the coverage
Bussey,
on the play.
nice job
It'll be
there
4th
of
down.
making up for it a little bit. Hitting into Osha Washington as he was going out of bounds up for the catch. And nice solid hit there he put on him.
Couple more final scores here for you. Wheatland defeats Oroville 41-12, and Hilmar ekes out a win over Oresteemba 24-19.
You know, one thing I've noticed is that Luke Bussey has done a pretty bang-up job for replacing Nick Grace.
4th and 22, and the Trojans predictably are going to go for it here.
Well, of course, this is 4-down territory. I mean, you're down by 5 touchdowns. You got to do something to try to get the win.
And you're in opponent territory. 4 wide receivers set. Greenlee with a lot of time to throw, looking for Washington, and it is overthrown.
Greenlee's pass intended for
So
Washington,
a turnover on
incomplete.
downs, and with 4:21 left play in the 3rd quarter,
Grant
the
Powers provided the
Grizzlies
coverage on the play.
send the offense onto the field once again,
Granite Bay holds on
where they will
downs. It'll be a
start
1st and 10
from
Grizzlies.
their own 34.
So the Grizzlies continuing their theme from the first half. They are still maintaining possession of the ball
Looks
for
like there may
much
be
of
a flag on
the
the play.
game. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to stop. They do well with possessing the ball. They keep it for a while. I don't see the Grizzlies letting up this lead.
Interesting call here. Penalty called on the Grizzlies. So the Trojans will get another chance to convert on 4th down, and the Grizzly defense scrambling to get back on the field here.
Defense, 15 yards.
Call is a face mask against the defense.
I'm sorry, but I did not see that.
Ball spotted on the 19. It'll be 4th and 8 for the Trojans. 4 wide receiver set. Greenlee in shotgun. Here's the snap. Greenlee drops back, looking left, throwing it over the middle to his tight end, number 80, who gets stopped just short of the goal line. Grizzlies trying to preserve the shutout here. But the
Greenlee's
Trojans
pass
get a big
to
first
Donald
down.
Rucker.
That's a gain of 18. Tight end Donald Rucker.
Tackle was made by Mason Conan.
Mason
It'll be a
Conan,
1st and goal.
another one of
Trojans.
Granite Bay's big 3 linebackers making the stop. The 1st and goal for the Trojans at the Grizzly 1-yard line. Full house formation. Davis in the backfield. They're going to QB sneak it, and Greenlee is stopped short.
Greenlee with the keeper.
Will this be reminiscent of the semifinals last year where the Grizzlies stopped the Trojans 4 times on the 1-yard line to win that game 28-21 late?
Can they do it again? That would be an interesting storyline.
But you gotta admit the stakes not as high in this one. Regular season game and the Grizzlies are up by 5 possessions, but still, nevertheless, you'd like to pitch the shutout if you can.
Oh, by all means.
Full house formation once again for the Trojans. Here's the snap. Handoff is to Justin Davis. And he's going to be stopped for a loss.
Justin Davis, a drop for a loss on the play.
Luke Bussey, Nick Grace's replacement, who has been making plays all over the field tonight. In on the tackle there, along with linebacker Bo Hirschberger. Loss of 3 on the play. So now it'll be 3rd and goal for the Trojans at the Grizzly 4-yard line. Four wide receiver set. Trips to the right. Greenlee in shotgun with Davis. Here's the snap. Greenlee looking right. Flushed out of the pocket. Throws a short little dinky pass.
Touchdown, Lincoln.
And we'll get Lincoln their first points of the night. They had receivers all over the place, and they had easily 6 men waiting in the end zone.
Pass complete from Zach
Greenlee to try and get them the ball, and the Trojans get on the board. It only took them about 34 minutes, but they finally managed to score, and as the score stands now, it'll be Grizzlies 35, Trojans 6. Scoring play, a 4-yard pass from Zach Greenlee to Donald Rucker. Trojans going for 2. Quick pass from Greenlee to Osha Washington is good.
2-point conversion is good. Pass play from Zach
converts
Greenlee
the 2-point conversion to his playmaking wide receiver Osha Washington. And shutout
35.
has
Trojans
been denied to the Grizzlies. Nevertheless, they still lead by 27 points with 2:26 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. A fairly comfortable margin, I would have to say. And the Trojans now kicking off to the Grizzlies after a touchdown for the first time tonight. Trojans on the kick. And I wish I could tell you who their kicker is, but frankly I don't know because I haven't been kicking the ball off.
Kick for the Trojans.
Yeah, you can. I mean, this is
only
only their second kickoff. Of course, the one by default at the start of the second half. But other than that, it has been a very quiet game for Lincoln and Stockton's kicker.
Kick will be fielded at the 10-yard line for the Grizzlies. He's to the 20, 40, blockers out in front of him to the 45, to the 50, and will be taken down inside Lincoln territory.
Is returned by Tony
And
Ellison.
for the 4th time tonight, the Grizzlies will start with the ball in Trojan territory. An excellent return by Tony Ellison.
Ball in place at the Trojan 46-yard line after a return of 39 yards. 1st and 10, Grizzlies.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on the Trojan 46. 3 wide receiver set. Towery in motion. Here's the snap. And off is to Cooley. And he's going to be stopped at about the 40-yard line.
Taft Partridge, the ball carrier.
Excuse me, that was the big fullback, Taft Partridge, on the carry.
Stops made by Cyrus Boone. Gain of 5 on the play, makes it 2nd and 5.
It'll be a gain of 5 on that one. Partridge with a powerful run to make it 2nd and 5 for the Grizzlies. Second and 5. Ellison motion, here's the snap. Ellison gets the sweep around the right side. Cuts up the middle. He's got a lot of space to run. He's at the 25, to the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Tony Ellison carries for a first
And
down.
Ellison wasn't even able to completely get his footing either.
Stops made by O'Shea,
He was
Washington,
stumbling
Chris
the
Valeros.
whole way and still looked like he was faster than just about everybody on the field. That's a gain of 28 yards by Tony Ellison. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies at the Trojan 13-yard line. We're inside of a minute and a half to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And, I mean, Tony Ellison, we've seen that quite a bit with him. He has that low center of gravity. He's got that good balance, and that allows him to keep running after the hit. And, you know, he's a lot. I mean, he's got a great body frame, and he's able to keep going. And that's why I don't know, we don't have a stat for yards after carry, but I'm sure it's really high for Tony.
First and 10 for the Grizzlies. On the Trojan 13. 3 wide receiver set. Partridge alone in the backfield. Towery in motion. Handoff is to Partridge. And the fullback
Partridge,
gets
the ball
across the
carrier.
10-yard line. And again, nothing fancy. The Partridge picks up
Stops
the yards
made by
when they're
Thomas
needed.
Arismendi.
That's a gain of
Gain of
4
5 on the play.
yards. It'll be a
Making a
2nd
gain of 4 on
and
the play.
6 for the
Brings up
Grizzlies
2nd and 6.
on the Trojan 9-yard line.
For all you Grizzlies fans who are really loving this game, check out granitebaytoday.org tomorrow for highlights from this game and a recap written by Blake Allen.
2nd and 6, handoff to Cooley around the right side, and he gets inside the 5. Well, not a whole
John
lot
Cooley
there.
carries.
Trojans read that play pretty well. And he'll gain
Stops made by Rayvon Alexander.
about 4. Gets the ball to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Grizzlies.
Gain of 3 on the play, makes it 3rd and a long 2.
And it looks like the Grizzlies are just going to run out the rest of the time in the 3rd quarter. And indeed they will. So at the end of the 3rd quarter,
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
score in
Grizzlies
this
35,
one is
Trojans
still
8.
very one-sided. Grizzlies up by 27, 35-8 on the Lincoln and Stockton Trojans. We'll be back right here in just a couple moments for the beginning of the 4th quarter of play. We're back with you here at Granite Bay High School. 4th quarter of play just now beginning. Grizzlies lead by 27, 35-8, and it looks like they're about to add more to their lead as they currently have the ball 3rd down and 3 on the Trojan 5-yard line. Partridge and Cooley in the backfield. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Cooley, and he is not going to get very far. In fact, he's going to be stopped
John
for
Cooley
a
with the
pretty
carry.
sizable loss.
Stops made by EJ
And that's going to
Byerly.
bring up a 4th and 9 for the Grizzlies, and the kicking unit is on the field for the first time this game, and Colin Brown, who's been pretty active tonight, is going to have a chance to put a field goal up on the board for the first time. We have an update, a big update from Lucas Carlson.
Well, it has been a pretty tough season for Del Oro so far. They started out 0-4, and tonight they took Logan to overtime and won 20-13. They stunned James Logan, who is number 17. Is that in the nation?
That's in the nation.
Oh my, wow. They beat the number 17 team in the nation in overtime. Cody Otten caught the touchdown pass and knocked away the 4th down pass from Logan. A much needed win for Del Oro. Congrats to you guys on your first win.
Grizzlies winning much more handily in this one. And it was one step back, one step forward for the Grizzlies. A false start, and then an offsides call. So now the Grizzlies have the ball. 4th and 2 on the Trojan 4-yard line, and it looks like they're going to go for it now. And indeed they will. Ellison Cerna to the left, Cooley and Partridge in the backfield. Here's the snap. Sweep to Ellison. And he got enough for the first down, but it'll be stopped short of the goal line, and that would have been Ellison's 3rd touchdown of the night.
Tony Ellison, the ball carrier.
Lucas, I think your prognosticator points are slowly going through the roof.
Well, I like to say I know what I'm talking about, but, you know, it's all luck, and Tony Ellison is having a great night tonight. And, you know, this whole Grizzlies team is having a great night, and the O-line, you cannot say enough about them. I mean, I've said it time in and time out, and you got to give a lot of the kudos to them. They have been great.
So after the first down, it appears they might measure here. It looks like Ellison got it pretty handily, but an interesting spot. And
Maybe.
it is
It's a first down.
Yeah. Grizzlies.
And the Grizzlies will have the ball 1st and goal on the Trojan 2-yard line. 10:30 left to play here in the 4th quarter. That is a huge win for Del Oro, and that brings a lot of credibility back to this Sierra Foothill League. Granite Bay and Del Oro were expected to be 2 of the top 5 teams in Northern California at the beginning of the season, and both of them started out with big losing records. Granite Bay 1-3, their only win over the previously number 1 ranked team in the section, Vacaville. Del Oro 0-4 after they had an injury to their starting running back and big playmaker Brandon Monroe.
Touchdown, Grizzlies!
Grizzlies score yet again, and the blowout
Cooley scores
continues.
from 2 yards out.
2-yard run by Johnny Cooley puts the Grizzlies score count at 41 over the Trojans 8. PAT coming up here for the Grizzlies. Here's the snap, kick is up, and once again, Colin Brown successfully tacks on another extra point.
We have 10:01 left to go in the ball game.
Grizzlies
42,
now
Trojans
lead
8.
by 34, 42-8 on the Trojans. And that was big for the Trojans. They were starting to get some momentum. They scored the touchdown, got the 2-point conversion. It looked like they were going to get a stop on defense. And then they gave up a penalty and allowed the Grizzlies to score the touchdown and continue the route.
Yeah, that's tough. Man, you got to feel for Lincoln. I mean, it's tough to see a loss this bad. I mean, there's good wins, and then this is just a blowout. I mean, this is sad to see this much. I mean, they just look discombobulated out there. Granite Bay is really dominating.
Really what it's come down to is Granite Bay has won the battle on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Justin Davis, their best player, really completely shut down tonight, and Greenlee has not looked as solid as he normally looks, so his early season struggles continue. Here's the kick from Colin Brown. It'll be, oh wow, a nice kick for the Grizzlies. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds and be a penalty, but it does go just inside the corner of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, so the Trojans will get the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, barring some miracle comeback, you got to say that the Grizzlies will come out of this stadium victorious tonight.
First and 10 for the Trojans. And it was a fumble. A little bit
Zach Greenlee with the fumble
of a
recovery.
bad exchange between Greenlee and Davis, and Greenlee fell right back on top
Loss
of it.
of 4 on the play brings
Loss
up
of
second
4
and
for
14.
the Trojans, and you mentioned it, Lucas. The offense has looked discombobulated all night, and it does not look like they're going to get anything put together here late. 2nd and 14 now for the Trojans. Second and 14, 3 wide receiver set. Make it 4. Greenlee in shotgun. Here's the snap. Dropping back. Looking. Nobody open. Under pressure, and he's going to throw this one away.
Greenlee's pass attempt is incomplete.
Great coverage downfield by the Grizzlies, and that's another thing from
Jack
last
Dockham
week that
was
they
on
look
the
like
coverage.
they've improved on a lot this week, is their coverage downfield in the secondary. We thought it was going to be weaker tonight with the absence of Nick Grace, but it looks stronger from my point of view, and with the incompletion, it'll now be 3rd and 14 for the Trojans.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Zach Greenlee has got men in the backfield almost every play. I mean, he's being rushed a lot, and he's been having to throw a lot of balls out of bounds and just throw it away and get to the next play.
3rd and long. Greenlee looking for Washington. And again, it hit Washington in a bad
Greenlee's
spot.
pass attempt for Alexander incomplete.
So that'll bring up a
Joey
4th
Blackwell provided the coverage on the
and a
play.
mile for the Trojans with 9 minutes left to play here in the game.
It'll be 4th down.
And the punting unit is on the field.
The fact that the Trojans are bringing out the punting unit should signal that
O'Shea
they
Washington
realize
is in
this
punt
game is out
formation
of
for the
reach also.
Trojans. Tony Ellison deep to receive for the Grizzlies.
We have a local update. Oakmont beating Lincoln 36-29 in the 4th quarter.
And
Washington's punt
once
is down
again,
at the Granite Bay 49-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10
time
Grizzlies.
tonight, the Grizzlies have started with the ball in Lincoln territory. So once again, the Grizzlies will have the ball. 1st and 10 on Lincoln's 48-yard line.
Josh Neal has checked in at quarterback for the Grizzlies.
And the Grizzlies have finally put in their backups. Josh Neal, of course, the hero from the 2nd round of last year's D1 playoffs. When Brendan Keeney got injured, Neal went 7 for 8 for 89 yards and a touchdown to win that game for the Grizzlies over Napa. Maybe it was it Oak Ridge?
I get those two confused. I think it was Napa.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was
I believe
Napa.
you're right, Neil, so good job.
And final score on that one was 21-12, and Neal did throw one of those very important touchdowns. Grizzlies were only up by 2 nearing the end of the game, 14-12, and Josh Neal threw the game-clinching touchdown.
Ball on the
in
play,
the 4th
recovered
quarter.
by the Trojans.
Well, the first play with the backups in, the Grizzlies show why they are, in fact, the backups. Michael Garrity gets the handoff up the middle, fumbles it, and it is recovered by the Trojans. And we have an injury timeout down on the field. And we will take a quick timeout here from Granite Bay High School as well. Score is currently Grizzlies 42, Trojans 8, 8:45 of play here in the game. Back with you at Granite Bay High School. 1st and 10 for the Trojans on their own 46. 2 wide receivers set. Greenlee in shotgun. Here's the snap. Greenlee looking for Washington, and that is the
Greenlee's
4th
pass intended for
drop
Washington,
of
incomplete.
the night for OSHA Washington. They
Jack
can't get it
Dockman
going in
and
the
Jordan
run game
Blackwell
because of
provided the
Davis's
coverage on the play.
troubles. They can't get it going in the
It'll be
passing game
2nd and
because
10.
Washington and Alexander have combined for 5 drops tonight, 4 of them by Washington. Second and 10 now for the Trojans after the incompletion. Two wide receivers, Davis to single back. Handoff is to Davis, and he is going to be stopped for a loss. Loss
Justin
of
Davis,
5
ball
yards
carrier.
on the play.
Tough night for Justin Davis.
You can say
Stop
that
for a
again.
loss on the play by J.R. Colton.
Hey!
J.R. Colton.
JR gets the stop on that play, and as you mentioned, this is his first week back after being injured in the first game of the season, so it's good to see him out there making plays.
Indeed.
3rd and 15 for the Trojans on their own 41. Washington to the right, Alexander to the left, Davis the lone back, Greenlee under center. Here's the snap. Play action. Greenlee under pressure, throwing deep for Washington, and it is batted away.
Beautiful play there.
Incomplete.
That was
Wow.
number 20, Jack Dockham, with the coverage
Broken
on
up
that
play by
play.
Jack Dockham.
Great jump. I mean, he timed that. Wow. That was a beautiful timing there by Jack Dockham to jump and knock the ball out and cause trouble for the receiver. OSHA Washington unable to catch it off the rebound.
4th and 15 now for the Trojans. And they're in punt formation. 7:50 left to play in the ball game. Ellison back to return Washington's punt. And penalty flags fly.
Beautiful punt, though. Way high in the air.
Dead ball, delay game, offense.
It is delay of game on the offense, so that'll set the Trojans back another 5 yards. That'll move them back to the 36.
Yeah, you got a question. I mean, they were taking forever to get that ball off. I don't quite know what they were waiting for.
All right, we'll try this again. Ellison gonna try and field this one and get a bad snap. Washington with some skill to still get the ball away. The Grizzlies not gonna get the ball for the 6th time tonight in Trojan territory.
Washington's punt is down around the 25-yard line.
So 7.5 minutes left to play in this one. Grizzlies have the ball 1st and 10 in their own territory. Call the press. They're on their own 25.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen too much tonight. But great punt by the punter.
First and 10 for the Grizzlies. Here's the snap. And up is to Garrity. He gains
Michael Garrity,
5
the ball carrier.
and manages to hold on to the ball this time.
Stops made by Thomas Arismendi. Gain of 5 on the play, brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5. Sweep to the right to Garrity. And Garrity.
Brigden
brings
York,
up
the ball
6.
carrier.
That was Brigden York, excuse me.
by
A 3rd
Arismendi.
string flyback, a senior.
Gain of 6 on the play. First
And
down,
he gains
Grizzlies.
6 yards and picks up a first down for the Grizzlies down to their own 37. Inside of 7 minutes to play. York in motion. Snap and off. Garrity up the middle. Gain of
Michael Garrity, the
5.
ball carrier. Stops made by Cyrus
You
Boone.
can't say enough tonight about how well
Gain
the
of 4 on the
Grizzlies
play,
have
brings
played.
up second and
Defense
6.
Holding a really excellent college-level player in Justin Davis to negative yardage. Negative yardage. He went for negative yardage on the night.
Yeah, well,
Greenlee
I
looked
mean,
yeah,
they've played well-rounded, and not that they've needed to, but I mean they haven't let up they haven't let up on the gas, and they haven't necessarily needed to, as this is a much farther out of reach game for the Grizzlies. But
Stops made by
I mean, they're still
Gain of 6
playing
on the
through.
play,
They're
first
not,
down, Grizzlies.
you know, slowing down like they did last week, and it's good to see that, you know, they listened to Cooper this week, and I'm sure that he preached the whole week, we cannot play like we did last week, and they've really come out and made a statement here.
Well, and the thing is out of the 5 games we've now seen this season, 4 of them, they played their best football. It's just the first 2 they lost. It was because they played 2 of the best teams in the country, you know, and they lost this, and then they lost to Pittsburgh last week. It was really just a game where they didn't play as well, and I've seen now, this is our 3rd week playing at home, you've seen 2 examples of how good this team can play in blowouts of 2 excellent Northern California teams in Lincoln of Stockton and Vacaville, and you've also seen how poorly they can play when they got upset by Pittsburgh in overtime. So
Yeah.
you're seeing the best and the worst of this Grizzly team here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I don't know. They're kind of inconsistent because they played amazing against Vacaville, and then again here tonight, and then that loss last week, it raises questions like, can they perform week in and week out, or was that just a mental lapse
Well,
last
most
week?
importantly, can you win 4 games in a row when it comes to playoff time?
That's exactly what was on my mind. And while we were talking about that, Josh Neal had fumbled the snap, so it turned to a Lincoln Trojan possession as they recovered the fumble, and that was a run for no gain there.
For the Trojans.
So the backups with 2 turnovers tonight.
Not looking too good.
Second and 9. End off of the middle. Touchdown, most likely, unless somebody can make a touchdown-saving tackle. Nice tackle.
What a
Marquise
tackle.
Grace with the carry.
And he's hurt.
Stops made by Joey Blackwell.
Joey Blackwell on the tackle, and somebody went
26
down.
on the play, first down, Trojans.
And got right back up. He's still...
Well, and it would appear...
He was holding his
It would appear the Grizzlies
groin area.
They only have 10 players on the field right now.
Do they really?
Not looking like it's going to matter, though. They make the stop for a loss. Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Stops made by Grant
They have
Jason.
10 they have 10 players on the field right now, and I don't think anybody's noticed yet.
Loss of 2 on the play brings up second and 12.
I thought there were only replacement refs in the NFL.
Oh, they got a man out there. There's now 11 men on the field. All is right with the world.
My sources have informed me that 10 men on the field is not illegal.
But ill-advised.
Marquise Grace carries. Stops made by Griffin Powers and Matt Berry. 5 on the play, brings up 3rd and 7.
Bye. Love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Inside of 3 minutes to play here in this one. Trojans burning a lot of clock. Hand off again. And Grizzlies finally make the stop just past the first down marker.
Marquise Grace up the middle. Joey Blackwell and Austin Kavanaugh.
Early nominees for Player of the Game, Lucas. Who are your 3 nominees for offensive, defensive, and MVP of the game?
Gain of 7 on a play, big
I'm
14
sorry,
inches.
I was checking the stats real quick. Well, of course, you got to go to Tony Ellison, as he's had 3 touchdowns or 2?
I think 2. I believe it was 2.
Okay, it was 2 touchdowns. Thank you, Kaya, our statistician.
Grace carries for a first
And then,
down.
of course, Grant Caraway, our quarterback, who
And then
he's 15 of 19 for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Matt Berry and Grant
You also
Peterson
gotta
on the stop.
throw in Johnny Cooley to that mix. I mean, again, not anything
Gain
real
of 2, it'll be
flashy.
first and goal
He
from
has
the
several
9.
touchdowns tonight, and really played an excellent football game.
Yeah. I mean, 2 touchdowns, and that's, hey, it's getting the job done. Even though he's only got 76 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns is pretty good game.
And then your defensive
Alexander with the keeper.
nominees.
Played by Grant Peterson and Xavier Hunter.
That's a tough one, you know. I mean, you
I'm-
got to give it to the whole defense.
I'm gonna
Gain
go.
of
I'm
1
gonna
on
go
the play,
out
it'll
on
be
a limb
second and
here.
goal.
3 nominees: Cameron Smith, Mason Conan, and you gotta give it to Luke Bussey. I mean, came in, subbing in for an injured starter in Nick Grace, and he was all over the field tonight. All over the field.
I agree. I mean, Luke has done really well. And, you know, I mean, I didn't want to sound biased because he is a good friend of mine. But
Grace ball carrier.
he has done a great job coming in. But the defense as a whole has
Top
performed,
played by Grant Powers.
you know, amazing tonight. So I don't know if you can just give it to
Gain of
one
3
player on
play,
the
brings
defense.
up 3rd and goal.
But you do get extra credit points for coming in and replacing a pretty good cornerback.
And of course, as we're in the closing seconds here, we invite you to stay tuned for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show brought to you by Buca de Beppo. And we'll name our players of the game, including our offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, and MVP. That's coming up in just a few moments.
Touchdown Trojans.
Hey, all you Grizzlies. I know that winter ball is quite a bit away, but shouldn't you start getting those plans ready by getting ready to, you know, make those dinner plans? From the first game to the final test, there's always a good reason to Buca. Granite Bay High School student groups of 15 or more receive a special youth menu rate. So why not go to Buca? Contact Kat at 916-771-9463. That's 916-771-9463.
10 seconds left to play in this game. Trojans just scored a touchdown in what is really just mop-up duty now. And they're going to go for 2, and they will not get it.
The 2-point conversion fails. We have 10 seconds
And
left to
so
go
it
in the
looks like the
ballgame.
final score of this
Grizzlies
one is going to
42,
be
Trojans
Grizzlies
14.
42, Trojans 14.
Nick McGill and Matt Perry made the stop on the play.
Great job by the Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah. About that offense.
And this is all but over as the Grizzlies return the kickoff, and ooh, monster hit put on him at the end. Maybe taking a little bit of his anger out there.
Well, Michael
Glorious kick
Garrity.
is returned by Michael Garrity.
And we should just see a knee here.
Stops made by Cameron Calder.
And that should put this one in the books.
3.6 seconds left to go.
Barring we don't see the rarely executed 28-point play, which can only occur if on a kneel down, the quarterback fumbles the football.
Yeah, it's not getting done in 3.6 seconds, Neil. Don't waste your breath.
And they play to the end, this Grizzlies football team. And last play of the ball game, they make sure to get in one more snap to Josh Neal so he can give one more passing attempt in a game situation. He completes it.
Final score, Grizzlies 42.
And that takes us to the end
14.
of this ball game. Grizzlies dominate the Lincoln and Stockton Trojans at home to move their record to 2-3 on the season. This is their last game in non-league play this season. The Trojans dropped to 2-3. Second week in a row they've been blown out. Last week getting blown out by St. Mary's, as we mentioned. And the Grizzlies at home for the fourth time in a row again next week. They open up a league play against the Roseville Tigers. We will be back with you here in just a couple minutes for our post-game show, where we will name our players of the game, including our offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, and our MVP. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the Grizzlies have defeated the Trojans by a score of 42-14. And we'll be back to you to wrap up this contest, as I mentioned, in just a few moments on Play On Sports Network. Welcome back to the Granite Bay High School Media Sports Broadcast Team post-game show, a production of Play On Sports Network, brought to you by Buca de Beppo. I'm Neil Martin alongside Lucas Carlson here at Granite Bay High School. And tonight, another great football game, another win for the Grizzlies, their second of the season. They defeat the Lincoln of Stockton Trojans 42-14. And Lucas, really just a dominant game for the Grizzlies. They dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Played really well. Caraway had his best game of the season by far. And really just a team effort to shut down a Trojan offense with so many big playmakers, especially Zach Greenlee and Justin Davis, who are two big college prospects.
Yeah, and like you said, Caraway, I mean, he had 174 yards passing. He only had 4 incompletions, 0 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. That's a really solid game by any means. And his main hookup was Tony Ellison, who had a touchdown and 95 yards receiving. So Ellison also had a really good game. On top of that, he had 49 rushing yards, of course, with that long 28-yard run being the majority of that, and a rushing touchdown. So those were your 2 key players for the Grizzlies offense that really, I mean, they were the main stats. I mean, they really put up numbers out there.
All right, so we mentioned our nominees for Offensive Player of the Game, Grant Caraway, Tony Ellison, and Johnny Cooley. And Lucas, if you're with me on this one, I think this one isn't even a contest. You got to give it to Tony Ellison.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's awkward. That's
face,
awkward.
That face. You disagree with me on this one?
I give it to Grant Caraway.
All right,
he had a great game. 4 incompletions and 0 interceptions. He was in another form today. I mean, he looked much better in his decision making. He was making the good throws. He was making his reads. He was doing everything he needed to do, and he really was I mean, even that hard count. A simple play like that, he had it down. That was a big play on the first drive. You got to give it to Caraway. He was the leader of the offense.
I got to disagree with you just for one reason. Ellison is the pacemaker for this offense. He is what sets the tone for this offense every ball game. Huge amount of all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. I believe this is his 3rd game of the season now with more than 1 touchdown. He's a dominant offensive. He's the definition of a playmaker.
All right, we'll agree to disagree.
All right, so
for Defensive Player of the Game, I think we can both agree that if we had to give it to one player, we give it to Luke Bussey.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
He came in, replaced Nick Grace, and did an amazing job. I mean, yeah. Great job, Luke.
Okay, well, since we had a split decision on Offensive Player of the Game, it's going to be a little difficult to decide tonight's MVP. So, who would you give it to, Lucas?
The Grizzlies.
I'll agree with you on that one.
I mean, they really played well as a team tonight. This was a team effort. Great job to the Grizzlies.
Absolutely. This was a Grizzly win. Definitely not a Trojan loss by any means. They just dominated this football game. All right, that's going to do it for our whole broadcast here tonight. Thank you for joining us here at Granite Bay High School for tonight's homecoming game. Alongside my partner, Lucas Carlson, I'm Neil Martin, and we are hoping you enjoy this broadcast tonight and that you will join us for our next one next Friday at 7 p.m. when we open up SFL League play against the Roseville Tigers.
This has been the Buca de Beppo post-game show. From the first game to the final test, there's always a good reason to Buca. Good night, Grizzly fans.